What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today's topic is going to be the best year 6.0 Powerstroke and what years should you avoid. So we're going to wait for some people to jump in here. Yes, I know this is Thanksgiving Eve. I'm sure a lot of you guys are busy and hanging out. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how long we go. But really the main topic again today is going to be what is the best year 6.0 Powerstroke? Should you avoid any? OJ, what's up, brother? How you doing? So first off, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We'll probably be repeating that a few times as more and more people come in. Sorry I wasn't able to live stream Tuesday night. That was the goal. So we switched it. I was actually going to live stream Thursday until I remembered that it's Thanksgiving, and I'm pretty certain that would not have a lot of people come out and hang out. So we're doing it Wednesday. I'm sure I don't expect this to be a big crowd because it's Thanksgiving Eve. People are traveling. If you guys are, I hope you have safe travels. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Same to you. Very excited to do these live streams. Very exciting for me. And I do want to apologize. I was supposed to have a video out, and between work and Mother Nature, that has not let me film the video I want to do. The goal is to hopefully tomorrow morning shoot the video for the race tune from Blessed Performance. Also in this live stream, guys, I want to talk about what's going to happen in regards to specials coming out for the channel. The merch store is going to have a big discount. We're going to talk about it tonight officially here. I'm actually going to bring up the merch store in another web page. You guys won't be able to see it. And we're also going to talk about channel memberships that I recently started and talk about some of the perks that the channel memberships are going to have for people. Truck Guy Joe, I am praying we get to race next year. Guys, if you haven't, check him out. Truck Guy Joe is a good friend of mine. He is responsible for helping teach me how to resemble drag racing. He's much better at it than me. But he is a super fun guy to hang out with, and hopefully next year you guys get to see more of his 6.6 Duramax. I'm coming for that Cyclone. I want to take the Cyclone. But hopefully we get to do that next year. I'd like to actually tow the white truck to events and really let her eat. So we'll see what happens with everything going on with the pandemic and with my white truck, because obviously it's still down, but we're working on it. We are making some headway. Maybe on Thanksgiving I should actually drive over and take video of that truck, so you guys know it is still around. It hasn't gone anywhere. But anyway, specials for the channel coming up. I am very excited to actually get to work on this. There is pricing discount. So I actually am bringing this up. I'm going to do this with you guys here. So that I can actually tell you guys all now. But again, very excited to be even. Please send a link to your store. Ben, if you actually go down in the description, there will be a link there. The description of all my recent videos coming out. I have two merch stores. The Teespring one is actually the one that's going to have the discount. That actually Teespring's a little more user-friendly. It allows me to do a little more with it. So that's where the bulk of my merch is actually going to be. We're also going to be releasing some new shirts, including a No More EPA shirt. We'll see how long until I get in trouble for that one. I feel like no fear, Jordana is here. Hey, she changed her name to 6.0 Sis. Look at that. Bang, bang, Fluffy Gang. What's up, Fluffy, man? How you doing, brother? So, no more EPA, 6.0 Bros on the front, no more EPA on the back. We'll be releasing our, hold on, it'll have 6.0 Bros on the front, and it'll have delete, tune, stud, repeat on the back. Are you better priced than SD? Who's SD? I'm not familiar with SD. So I will say part of how I did my pricing on here, and I need to really go back through and make sure everything kind of lines up exactly how I want it, so that things aren't costing more and don't make sense for why they cost more. So I do need to look at that. But on there when I'm designing the shirts, oh, Sinister Diesel. Well, Sinister Diesel is pretty overpriced on everything. So I would hope so. I mean, it'd be funny if merch is like the one thing that they're actually affordable on. Price isn't, they make stuff and do some cool jazz, whatever. So I'm not going to really give them crap because I feel like they get set their price, but I just disagree with a lot of their pricing. I guess it's a good thing I don't own part of Sinister Diesel. And I'm sure if anyone from there sees this, they're going to think what a goofball I am, but oh well. So anyway, so when I design the merch on there, what they do is they actually have a tool that states like what the average cost across their network is for something, like what they recommend pricing it at. And I tried to be below that for everything, not necessarily drastically lower, but I really tried to be competitive in that. I don't expect my merch to necessarily like make me all the money for the channel. I don't think that's it, but I am trying to make sure that the goal is for it to give back so I can continue to make great content for you guys. So it is there. So we're going to actually in live, I'm going to actually attempt to give you a discount if I can figure out how to do that. Okay, so I might need to wait until I can actually actually do this outside. But I'd like to get you guys a discount code so that you guys kind of for the holidays and stuff. Well, one, I think it's cool to begin with. So I'm actually promotions. I bet that's it. Oh yeah, promo code. So I'm gonna do free shipping. And the code, guys, is going to be 6.0 Bros. The same for everything else. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I'm ready for that $5 to $6 a gallon diesel, baby. June 2021. All right, Ben, let me quick finish doing this discount code for you guys, and we're going to talk about this long block. In the meantime, while I'm finishing putting the discount code in and talking about it, again, it's going to be for free shipping on the site here, on the Teespring site. But tell me what year truck you have, and let's see here. Today is 25th. So this is going to expire next Monday. And again, it is the normal discount code for the channel if it lets me add it. Oh, there we go. Sweet. So, guys, 6.0 Bros on the Teespring website, free shipping. Super excited to bring that to you guys. We are going to do additional discounts after that, and I don't know what they're going to be. There is going to be, so I recently released a membership to the channel thing, and one of the level 2 membership is actually going to include a special discount code for the merch. I'm also going to talk to Blessed Performance and ask if he will completely take my cut that I get for the affiliate marketing. If for people that use the special code, if he'll actually take my percentage and put it towards you guys so you get more savings and value again. So that's for the channel membership. That's something a little different. And there'll always be a code for that second tier membership. I am thinking about putting it back to the first tier, which is only $2 a month. To which, you buy one thing, it'll help you, or you buy tuning, it'll help. It would literally pay for the membership for several months. So just some stuff I'm trying to do to help grow the channel, grow the platform, continue to provide you guys with great content. Now, let's talk about this long block. Ben, so what year truck do you have is first and foremost that I need to know. And are we talking, I assume we're talking 6.0 Powerstroke. And I guess you're having some blow by here. So my recommendation is definitively Kill Devil Diesel. You have an 05, okay. So definitively, we're talking Kill Devil Diesels, who I highly recommend for this. Guys, as we get into this content, we have 5 likes in here, and there's 16 of you in here. So let's get those numbers to match a little closer. Let's get at least 10 likes, if not all 16 in here. So anyway, Kill Devil Diesels, who I would recommend, I would definitely look at their long blocks. You could consider a short block too, depending on what's done to your truck. For instance, my white truck already has cylinder heads done. It's already got push rods. If I have a lower end issue in my truck, what I'll probably consider, at least take a second to really consider, is probably going to be a short block. I'm not saying I'll go with a short block, but John, thank you, brother. But it is a viable option depending on what's done. Now, I'll say this: if your heads haven't been gone through, or you haven't already paid for a good high quality cylinder head like Kill Devil Diesel, then I would definitely look at their long blocks. One, it's going to come with a huge warranty, 3 years, unlimited miles, I believe. They are pricey, but a Kill Devil Diesel short block is no more expensive than having a local machine shop go through your engine. I'm bringing up Kill Devil Diesel here so we can actually talk like some prices, because they're not cheap at all. Definitely not cheap. Oh, and he's running some Black Friday sales. 10% off site wide. Definitely, I need to definitely post that. If you use code Black Friday 2020, 10% off on Kill Devil Diesel products. Use code KDD15 for 15% off all Kill Devil Diesel products. He's having on a stage 2 complete engine. Man, I really wish I was ready to buy this thing. It's got, wow, this is a heck of a price. So we're going to read this off. So it's a completed stage 2 top end bundle. So it's not a full engine, it's the top end bundle. So this has push rods in it. It's got aged head studs. It's got the Kill Devil Diesel heads, the O-rings heads. It's got an O-Dog ported intake, a KC Stage 2 turbo. It's got 190/30 Warren Diesel premium injectors, all your gaskets you'll need for all this, and a new oil cooler for $7,000. That's actually pretty cool considering the O-Dog intake, the turbo, and the cylinder heads alone probably are roughly something to the tune of $5,000-6,000. You throw another 2,400-ish in injectors in there. And those studs, the aged studs are like $1,400. That's a really good price. These normally almost $10,000 and stuff. So definitely, guys, check out Kill Devil Diesel. We'll be posting that on our social media later. The 15% off Kill Devil Diesel products. That's pretty good. And anything site-wide 10% off. So let's get complete engines on a 6.0. Now, he does offer like ready-to-run engines. I don't know that I'd buy one of them if all of your other stuff is good. He does have a build-in-a-box if you're capable of doing some of this stuff on your own. And it literally is. So we'll click on a build-in-a-box here. Well, Ben, since you're talking fuel price to go up, perks, and all the performance mods, prices of the 6.0 will drop. That could happen. That really could happen here. Edgar, no worries. We're just started. We're not even 15 minutes into the live stream. We got a lot of live streaming left to do. Don't worry, guys. So this stage 1 build in a box. Let's see here. So it's $6,500. I'm sure there's shipping on top of that. Some assembly required. Shocking. But it's really, you have new rocker arms, studs, O-ringed heads, all the gaskets you need. The Kill Devil Diesel billet camshaft and push rods, pistons, rings, pins, locks, all that. You can get them coated in stage 2, stage 3. They come with valve relief. There's lots of options here. And like I said, if you're able to do it on your own, that's actually a really good price, $6,500 for a whole engine. Now, I will say this, that's not going to come with the same warranty, though. So there is that. That is kind of something to consider. So let's just look at his long block, not his ready-to-run stuff, just his standard long block. So honestly, a stage 1 long block is going to be plenty for most people. I guess that's something I really should ask you. What do you think? Like, what do you want to do? You have a stage 2 turbo, I see. So are you talking you kind of want to flirt with 600 horsepower, yet still tow a maximum amount of weight? You just want something new. I can respect that. Then honestly, I'm going to say that you should go with his stage 1 build. It's expensive. It is expensive. It is 10 grand. It's probably like 500 in shipping, depending on where you're at. And you're probably talking on average about 1,500-ish to install. Now, I will say this is a great time to buy because you're going to get almost $1,000 off. So, and that's if I would recommend the stage 1. I really would. Like, don't get me wrong. The other stages are cool, but for most people, they're just not going to use an engine built for 800 horsepower or even 600 horsepower. Most people aren't going to use that, or at least they're not going to be hard on it enough to do it. My preference, I tend to like stuff overbuilt. So like my transmission in the white truck or my 6-liter, it's got every upgraded component we could get our hands on. Now there's 3 stages of billet input shafts, I should say. We went with the middle stage. The transmission itself should handle about 900 to 1,000 horsepower. I don't ever plan for that truck to make more than like 750. So the transmission's overbuilt. We're going to do the same with the engine at some point. We're going to overbuild the engine so that I don't have to worry about it. I can run it as hard as I want, but not break anything. And I do recommend that. And I think with that stage 1 kit, you're going to be able to do that without having to worry too much about your truck or what most people are going to put them through. They are expensive, man. I'm not going to say they're not, but the warranty's there, and that's huge. Being able to have his warranty on there and just knowing the quality that comes out of Kill Devil Diesel is awesome. And like I said, that is the route I will personally go. And like I said, you can get everything on there. And don't forget to use the code. I definitely need to get a snapshot of that and put it up there. For those of you guys that weren't watching or listening, Teespring, free shipping discount code for the holidays is going to be 6.0 Bros, the normal code for everything. And there's some more stuff I need to mess with in here so I can... I think there's some things I can just put sales on without any code. So there's definitely some cool stuff I can look at. We're going to be doing that in the future. Good. Anyway, moving on. Ben, no problem, man. Making the engine train tough as a military tank, that would be my definition of overbuilding. Yeah, I'm right on there. A lot of people on here are full of crap, Jared. Most people don't have money to dump 15 to 30. No, I hear you. Yeah, and I try to be realistic about cost of stuff. And these trucks, I mean, when you start really getting into this, like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't go to Ford for it. Not that I don't think Ford can't do a good job. I just know that before you even install an engine, you're getting like 15, 16 grand into it. At 15, 16 grand for just an engine, you can go to Kill Devil Diesel and get a fully built race engine at that point. So and then have someone install it. So I do think it's cheaper to buy from Kill Devil Diesel and have it in there. I'm not what's up, yeah, Murphy. Sorry. Robert, how you doing, brother? What do I think about air intakes? So air intakes is a very interesting topic. And I'm a fan of them. And I don't know why, but for some reason on 6-liters, everybody gets all bent out of shape about these intakes. You can't run an intake. You can't run an intake. Like, people get obnoxiously upset about that. And here's the thing. Well, you've come to the right place, man. I get a lot of flack. I did an intake video. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but I get a lot of crap about that video because a lot of people think it, SMB called it. So here's my thing with SMB. I love SMB. I want to be very clear. I love SMB. High quality products. They're great filters. Here's my issue with SMB. Is a lot of their intake systems are really designed to work around just the factory setup. They're not necessarily meant as true performance upgrades. So when you're upgrading turbos and such, that's kind of an issue. Now on the 6.7, I think they kind of got a little smarter and they changed that because they do have an open filter element now. That's kind of one of the cool things I like about that, but they still have a closed filter element and I'm not opposed to them. Just as long as people understand what you're getting, you're not necessarily getting the full effects of a true aftermarket intake when you go to those fully enclosed systems. On my 6-liter, for instance, I run it with the plastic piece off, mainly because it broke. I'm not going to lie to you. It broke. I took it off. Could have kind of annoyed with it, but oh well. Now, also on my older SNB style intake is the side is fully open. So that also kind of leads to why I do it, why I'm okay with it. With the top cover off, I don't really have an issue at all. Just understanding like the point of an aftermarket intake is to free up air for your turbo, essentially. You need to get more air to your turbo and let that turbo work less. So one, you get good longevity out of it. And two, you're optimizing the performance for anytime you make getting air into a diesel, any engine really, but it's more specifically diesels. Anytime you make air getting in or air out easier without adding strain to the system. And what I mean by strain is obviously putting a large turbo on will add air to the system, but it also now has to spin a large wheel. So anytime you can make getting that air in, whether ported intakes, ported exhaust manifolds, there's obviously limits to this. If you were to literally put a 5-inch exhaust for an exhaust manifold on, yeah, you would lose a lot of flow and a lot of ability to spool stuff because there's so much volume. So there is a happy medium, but for the most part, anytime you can make it as efficient as possible without adding larger components, you're good. And you'll definitely see that. So I do recommend air intakes. And it kind of depends. I'm going to be doing some stuff. Turbo Time USA, the turbo sponsor, huge shout out to them. I'm in the same boat as my wife. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds funny. I'm assuming she's not in the room. So anyway, Turbo Time USA released a vacuum gauge. They have sent 2 out to the channel for testing and review. We're going to be getting to that soon. I'm definitely going to hook one up in the black 6.7. And maybe if Josh is up to it, maybe we'll ask him if I can hook one up in his truck and just drive it around and see. He's got a factory turbo on his 6.0. I still have the factory turbo on my 6.7. And we'll just see what happens. And basically, it'll allow us to measure vacuum pull. So you don't want a vacuum created past a certain point. What happens is it'll actually pull the compressor and all the bearings forward on there as it's trying to pull the air in. That vacuum's created, pulling it forward. And while at first you might get very little movement front to back, and you should get very little movement front to back, but over time, that back and forth of the whole turbine and compressor assembly will start to wear out. It's hard on the bearings and can be hard on seals as well. So hopefully what we're seeing, they've told me they've seen pretty significant issues in 6.7s with pretty mild upgrades. So I'm expecting to see some stuff there. Josh is running an SMB intake, and so he runs the plastic piece on his, and his is a fully enclosed system. So I am expecting to see some issues there. Truthfully, I am about to get to the comment section, guys. I didn't forget. I just want to finish this train of thought. So he on his truck, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw restrictions. What's cool about the vacuum gauge is that it literally has a green, yellow, and red section. And it'll tell you exactly, I'll get to I swear I'll get caught up in this section here in a little bit, guys. Just bear with me while I finish this thought. So it kind of will tell you when, like, all right, you're kind of pushing it versus when, okay, now you're being really hard on your turbo. So I think that's cool. Robert, I assume you mean the Zoodad mod, which I think is a good idea, and I plan to do one on mine, and I want to do some actual testing to prove that it actually does do something, even if it's very minimal, but I do firmly believe it does something. But there's also the ability, I mean, you need to get more air in there. I'm a big fan. I'm actually a fan of open filter intakes. And I think Banks Power has done a huge disservice by acting like everything needs to be enclosed. Because at a certain point, if you don't have air volume, I don't care how dense your air is. If you don't have enough of it, you're not going to make more power. This has been proven on dynos time and time again. And he actually goes out there and all of his testing, he has this huge, massive 4-inch intake pipe hooked up to a filter like 4 feet away from the darn engine. And he's like, yep, that's my filter technology right there. And it's ridiculous. Anyway, so I am a fan. I do love SMB. I personally run SMB. I recommend SMB a lot, especially their filters. AFE makes really good filters as well. But I do think if you're looking for, when you're in the 64 millimeter chargers, especially anything larger than a 64 millimeter charger, I really think you need to take the jump over to, open filter element designs to be able to provide enough airflow. So No Limit Fab, Worley Custom Fab makes one too. There's other people making just 4-inch open intakes out there. And I would definitely look into them if that's what you're looking for. And I can get links for you guys in the future if you'd like. Now I have one on my Mustang and my WRX, looking at one for my 2 weeks ago now. Okay, SMB. Just sorry, guys. I'm just getting caught up in the comment section. Mustang Stampede. I definitely hear you on hearing the spool better. I'm a big fan of that too. You've done 15.5K into your 05, and wife is about to divorce me. At this point, I'm just maintenance and maintaining. Upgrade turbos down the road and I put a new OEM one in last year. Jay, please don't let your Powerstroke diesel cause you to get a divorce. That'd be pretty unfortunate. And I would probably feel partially responsible because I've probably encouraged you once or twice. Now I see why you're in the same boat with your wife. I got it. Hurry, understand, bigger turbo, get out. We'll get more out of what I have done, Chuck. Jay, that's all you need. It does what you need it to do. You guys have gone to allowances. This is probably my future I'm laughing at right now. Best injectors out there. So I really like Warren Diesel injectors. Now, I will say this. I only would buy their premiums. I wouldn't buy their other ones. Holder Diesel makes good stuff. River City Diesel, I've also heard good things about. I would love to get in contact with some of these other guys and maybe do some reviews and such. But at this time, I don't have the ability to do that. So Warren's what I have experience with. I have friends that have run River City Diesel. I don't know anyone personally running Holders, but I know they get good reviews. So those are the three I would keep it to. What size injector are you looking at? What's done to your truck? And maybe we can help you kind of look at an injector size. Just got my Warren 170 in for future. Yeah, 155 stock is a great injector, and I want to say one of the most underrated injectors you can get. So is the 6.0 engine good? Doom, what's up, brother? How you doing? So the 6.0 Powerstroke engine, first and foremost, is a good engine. I know it gets a lot of flack, and here's the thing: is it gets a lot of flack because a lot of people that did mediocre work were working on 6 liters and then saying like, yeah, it's a junk engine because they didn't understand it, one. And two, they really were doing shoddy work. There's a lot of shoddy work out there. It's unfortunate. Sorry, it was messing me up with my hair because I did it for work because I was trying to look all pretty, but oh well. Anyway, so there's a lot of mediocre mechanics, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of phenomenal mechanics that work their butts off. But if you don't really know what you're doing with the 6-liter, you're going to cause more issues than you are going to fix them. So fortunately, what I do think is the 6.0 is pretty easy to work on at home. And I mean, I have videos doing, pretty much anything most people are going to encounter. Injectors, turbos, intake manifold upgrades, Y-pipe changes, oil coolers. I don't know if I ever put a video out on me physically replacing the high-pressure oil pump. Point being, we've done a lot of work, and I'm not a mechanic. I'm a nurse by trade. So if I can do it, a lot of people can do it. I don't think, like I said, I just think, sorry, I was just reading a text there. So I do think they're great engine. I think they're user-friendly for the most part. People don't take time to figure out how things go together. Or they get caught up in this idea of if it doesn't look as simplistic as a Dodge Cummins, and that's garbage. And the 6.0 is made to come apart. You might have to take some stuff off, don't get me wrong, but it's really made to come apart, and it comes apart pretty easily. Seriously, like Lego's kind of easy, and I'm not referring to the complex designs that Legos have become, but like Legos are pretty simplistic. All in all, that's why we give them to kids to entertain them. And I think the 6.0 is kind of the same way. Anyway, from what I know, as long as you maintain it, get it bad ref. Oh, look at that. Mustang Stampede literally just said, I could have just said, go to his answer. Oh, Robert, you ain't kidding. Laying on top of that grill. Every time I do a crazy long job, like my chest and stomach are shredded up from laying on there. I did learn if you fold up a hoodie and put it on there, it's a lot more comfortable. I would like to one day get a topside creeper when I have the room to, hopefully in the future, I can actually rent space to do a lot of these projects on. It would make life a lot easier, but I'm not there yet. Hopefully one day that's the goal, is to be able to rent and move my toolbox and stuff over there and do most of my work out of like a small personal shop storage space kind of thing. But we'll see what happens down the road. But yeah, bad mechanics gave the 6.0 a bad name. Is it finicky? Yes. It is a temperamental engine. It's kind of like the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but probably more enjoyable, to be honest. So it's not bad, and you can work on most of the stuff at home with relatively simple tools. There's a few specialty ones, but for the most part, you're good to do it on your own. It's best if you do it all. If you do all the bulletproofing, so here I get asked about head studs a lot. And honestly, as long as you're not, if you don't have any issues with your head gaskets, don't do head studs for the sake of doing head studs. My sister's going nuts on texting right now. So yeah, if you're not having issues, don't mess with them. It's fine. I would just run them until they do go. Typically when they do go, you can limp the truck home. It's not like this catastrophic failure where you can't do anything anymore. So, keep that in mind. I don't think you need to replace everything Johnny on the spot. Stage 2 methanol kit is the best and cheapest performance mod you can do one for your 6.0 other than a good programmer. My 6.0 loves the juice. No smoke hardly ever when I get on it. Jared, get yours. So I do want to get methanol injection for the 6.7. We're going to do methanol injection on it, though, after I do a full intercooler piping kit. So as soon as I do that, the next modification is going to be methanol injection. I haven't picked out a kit yet. I do have it narrowed down to 2 companies. We're going to talk to Bless Performance about what he recommends. Bless Performance has been awesome to work with. I'm just trying to get I feel terrible because I want to get this next tune review out to you guys. And just between work and it getting dark early and everything, it just hasn't worked out. And I'm trying something new. It's a race tune. You guys don't want all these. I'll throw the facts in there about how it is and how the drivability, but you guys want to know if it goes fast. Can I burn tires off? What can we do? So I'm trying to get some cool shots of stuff I don't typically have to put in the video for you guys. So that's kind of been the holdup with this time of year. Maybe tomorrow I can go get some cool footage for you guys. but that is something that's in the works at the moment. And then after all that, we'll be talking to him because I'll probably buy the methanol injection from him. I'm getting to your intake question, I promise you. No worries, man. Just give me 1 second. Oh, wait, you're next. What do I think about air intake? So I'm all for aftermarket air intakes on the 6-liter and the 6.7 for that matter. Do not believe these people that say absurd things like you can make 500 horsepower on the stock intake on a 6-liter, or you can make 600. I think the most I've ever heard someone claim is 700 horsepower, and I think that's kind of garbage. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I don't know if somebody was spraying nitrous to make that happen or using water methanol injection to try to get a denser charge. Or was it just a smoky pig at 500 horsepower? I don't believe anyone's ever put 600 down on a stock intake. The stock intake is a great design for factory turbo, factory injectors, and I don't think you need to replace it if that's what you're running. I think it's okay to replace it. I just don't think you need to at that point. But when you start upgrading one of those components, whether fuel or your turbocharger, now I really feel you need to go to something that has the ability of flowing a little more air. SMB is probably one of the nicest kits out there. AFE has some nice stuff, and there's some really cool like Bokeh companies out there, kind of fab shops. No Limit Fab comes immediately to mind for the 6-liter. That's really where they made their name, was in the 6-liter market. So that's where you can also get into those different really high flowing. Like they make a 5-inch that bottles down to a 4-inch. It looks sweet. A lot of people say they've made the most horsepower with it. So I do highly recommend some of these out there. Bro, it's the best allowance. Not stress. Want a new gun? Get it in my pot of cash. That's true. Mustang Stampede, that's not bad. Currently, I don't have to answer to anybody when I get a new gun. So that's kind of cool. Before the government gets involved in that, which is probably coming, but whatever. Guys, so we got 23 people in here. I want to make sure, 1, everyone has hit the like button. 2, we're running a special on the Teespring merch stores, code 6.0 Bros for free shipping. Tomorrow night or Friday morning, expect to have new t-shirts on there. No more EPA. Delete, tune, stud, repeat is going to be on there. The SOB with making 6.0s great again on the back is going to be on there. So we have some new shirts coming out. Stay tuned. Check that store. The free shipping is going to last till next week, and then it's going to stop. And then channel memberships. Talk about for a second. There's 3 levels of channel membership. And first off, I don't recommend anybody do level 3, for the record. Don't do it. But we're good. Each level has a perk. So the level 2 perk, and that's really what I want to talk about. It is a membership. You do have to pay for it, but it's going to give you a special discount, access to special discount codes that we don't do anywhere else. So there'll always be discount codes for our Teespring merch store. I'm going to talk with Blessed Performance about if he will take away. So when you guys use my code on Blessed Performance, they actually give a percentage back to me. I'm going to ask that go away, and he just move that to you guys if you use the special code. And it's only going to be for people in that level 2 tier. And I honestly forget what level 1 was. I set this up the other day. I was super excited. Now I need to go look up what my own perks were that I set up for this. So that is the channel membership thing. Wherever it is, here I think is where I can view it. See more. I don't want to edit. I just want to see it. Oh, here we go. All right. Early access to videos. That's what it was. So I probably lost it. Oh, no, I didn't lose anyone in here. So it'll be early access to videos. And really what I mean by that, it's not going to be so much early access as exclusive access to videos. So it's going to be some behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't see in the finished product. It's going to be more of my mistakes I make in the filming process. Like tomorrow I'm probably going to try to quick throw brakes on my sister's car. I'm going to probably take the brakes back off my mom's car because they're kind of grinding and I'm not sure why. So I want to take a look at them. I need to do an oil change on my truck. So just kind of some random odds and ends like that. And then you guys will decide if that stuff gets out there. It will be exclusively up to members to tell me if I should release it live on the channel to everybody, but you guys are going to get that access. Level 2 will have the special discount code, which I said I'm in the works of getting, but there will be something up on Thanksgiving for that level 2 membership. For those of you that are interested, there should be like a join thing by the subscribe now. Now let me get back on this. I don't lift the cab on the truck ever. KC Stage 2 currently have stock. Kyle, do you want to do a KC Stage 2, or are you saying you have like your future plans, or you have it and you're getting ready to put it on? If not, we might be able to save you some money with my turbo sponsor. Tyler, that is awful to hear about your transmission. What is your game plan with that? I also recommend that torque spec is pretty important, and sometimes aftermarket parts can be a crapshoot. Yeah, depending on the parts, I don't recommend bad aftermarket parts. Like, I just don't think there's certain things you shouldn't cheap out on, and just because something's expensive doesn't make it good. I'm talking about sinister parts. In all honesty, I hear a lot about failures with sinister parts. So that is a shot at them. I don't use their parts. I never have. I wouldn't be opposed to their degas bottle. I think that looks pretty cool, but at the same time, I also think Rhino Diesel Products makes a much more durable product as well, and more original. Ben, what advice is it too late for? Air intake, we talked about. The 5R seems to be more reliable than a manual. 05 with, whoa. Man, I'm really getting behind, guys. 05 with 109 on it, workhorse. Current like to see a stock 5R at 800 horsepower. Probably not going to ever happen. Do you plan to test Bless Performance EcoBeast tune on the 6.0 like you did the 6.7? John, yes, I do. I just need to get it back. What I will say this is you will be, if you're looking for a tune, one, use the code 6.0 Bros. It gives you a discount. It helps support the channel. Two, his customer service is amazing, and I really do think even if there is an issue or you don't like something, he will help work around it. He doesn't have like this default file he's sending. He's got an idea, like these are really made for your build. And if there are issues or things, even if it's not an issue, it's just not a driving characteristic you like, he'll work with you to fix that. So I do highly recommend it. But in the future, his 6.0 tunes, will be tested on the channel. Actually, 2 subscribers are willing to let me use their truck to test his tunes. So hopefully that comes sooner than later. Bone stock 06. Yep. 06 6.0 with 425 with virtually nothing done. That's awesome. Oh, they definitely do love maintenance. Whoa, what we got here? Nothing. Not all right. So someone left a comment somewhere on one of the channels. Not all racers drive Hondas. I don't know what that's about. We'll respond to him later. That's kind of funny, though. Like button, hit Doom. Thank you. If you guys haven't smashed that like button now, please. Stock Radiator versus Mishimoto. Stock. Mishimoto. I want to say this. So I've tried Mishimoto products. I've given them a fair share, or a fair shake, I should say. And let me tell you, I'm less than impressed on what I've tried from them. Josh has their intercooler pipe kit. I hate it. Their boots are super high quality. Their clamps are garbage, and the fitment on it is okay at best. Do I think the quality of the material used is bad? No, I just don't think they're great. I just don't think it's great for what they do, and the price is pretty expensive. Now, I know when it comes to aftermarket intercooler pipes, they're relatively reasonable. I think they're like $370-ish for a set, so that's not terrible. But at the same time, I'm not a big fan. I run their radiator in the 6.0. And here's the thing is Mishimoto has downright lied about certain things. And that's frustrating for me. So I bought one of their cheaper radiators because they told me, hey, the only thing you're going to have issues with is your transmission's could run warmer. We see it in about 50% of people that run it. No big deal. And I said, oh, well, then I was planning on upgrading the transmission cooler anyway. They said that would fix it. So I'm like, cool, rock on. I'll just do that. No big deal. Well, my coolant temps, I couldn't keep under 230, which I'd never had an issue with before. It was a miserable time towing because of it. So, yeah, I'm a little bitter about that. Now, I will say this. I called them up and they sent me the performance one for free. I didn't have any issues with that. The transmission cooler and that's much better. I would say the performance one performs like factory. In my experience personally, I don't think it's better or significantly worse, but it's definitely not this vastly superior design or increased cooling capacity like they claim. Follow the man. Man, depends on area. For the price of a 6.0, they can be very expensive, or sometimes depending on area, they can be cheaper. It's just kind of all over the place. Bully Ram, does it have more rows than stock? The one thing to look at is it's not necessarily just more rows, but it's there's like a different measurement for it. Like its overall surface area. And quite frankly, like I said, the cheap Mishimoto is garbage. The more expensive one isn't terrible. I just don't know if it's more expensive than factory. I'd personally go factory over that one. Tyler, what are you doing with the 7.3? What? Might go to a 7.3 2002 over. What are you driving right now? Don't make that decision. That's a terrible decision. Just kidding. I got a lot of love for the 7.3. Just got to give people a hard time. Oh, I thought I was getting close. I thought I was getting close to getting caught up, and I'm not, guys. I am working on it. Hey, guys, seriously, though, if you want your question answered immediately, super chat, and that gets you answered right out of the gates. I will get to all the questions, though, so you don't have to. You just have to wait. Next, don't forget about the discount code for Teespring, 6.0 Bros. Up there, Bless Performance and Turbo sponsor, 6.0 Bros as well. Anyway, where was I? In the Mustang that I have, bigger radiator and much cooler. They have more rows. If you're hot client, I wouldn't change unless you get more rows. That's valid. My injectors from Bless. You bought your injectors from, yeah, definitely. Bless is definitely good. Strictly Diesel good people. Don't do business with Sinister and Extreme Diesel. They suck as far as parts quality and customer service. I haven't had an issue with Extreme Diesel, but I will say this. I haven't, like, other than their coolant filter, I don't know that I've bought a lot from them. Their Ford parts, I think, are okay, and you typically can get 10% off. But I will also say this. My local Ford dealer has started matching their prices. So I would rather support a local business than Extreme Diesel. Extreme Diesel, I don't have anything against. I just rather support local than over those guys. My Ford dealership's been pretty cool to me, so I try to show them some love. Shout out Andrew Ford for anybody that's in the area. Spend that money. This is my first diesel truck. I have diesel here. Oh, I'm so jealous that you have a lift. I want a lift so bad. Yeah, no, Bless Performance, I've been super happy with his tuning, super happy with customer service, and just a super nice guy, too. Ben, you're much ballsier than me. No, I haven't heard anything bad from DK, and actually somebody was, hey, Tyler, thanks, brother. So we're going to quick switch to Tyler's question now for the super chat, so thank you, man. You're driving a 97 12-valve Cummins with a NV45, might go to an O2, just blow all the gears in the trans. Isn't the NV4500 like the go-to transmission for those? Like, isn't that what everybody raves about? At least I thought so. I don't know a ton about Cummins. Man, the 12-valve Cummins engine itself is, I feel like in the Cummins world, it's like the equivalent of like people talking about the first Super Duty 7.3 Powerstrokes. Like, people love them. So I would definitely, all right, that's a big jump up, going from a 12-valve Cummins to the 7.3 Powerstroke. I do think that's a big jump. And it's probably a much nicer interior. The O2s were pretty nice interiors, in my opinion. I'm biased. My 04 has the same interior as an O2, but they are nice, and those trucks still look pretty darn modern. Excuse me. You know, you put I have headlight videos on how to put 05 headlights in without doing the full conversion, or the spider headlights like I run. So yeah, no, dude, I do think that's a good jump to make. I don't know how expensive those 12-valve transmissions are to keep up. I mean, hey man, keep it, and then maybe look on the junkyards for a cheap one to slap in. It might be worth it that you have two trucks down the road. But if I had to pick, I would definitely pick the 027 Tree all day long. Mishy, meh, I agree. I really do. I've only advantage is all metal, but no upgrade. Robert, I agree with you 100%. The DK engine, I had people tell me I should reach out to them and tell them to send me an engine. I just feel like that's very ballsy. If they did, I'd run it. I'd run the crap out of it too. It'd be cool. It's just a very expensive experiment at the same time. An 03 Mustang Cobra non-super. Can you get a Cobra non-supercharged? Is that a thing? He was. Yeah, he probably had a bad day when he lost to an 8,000-pound truck. $206,000 miles, 15K. That doesn't sound terrible. It's crazy to me what some of these trucks go for. I bought my 04 Lariat, and it was in really good shape. It really was. I mean, it has more miles on now, but overall, it was a really nice shape. I bought it was 04 Lariat crew cab short bed 4x4 with 73,000 miles on it. I bought for 23 grand 8 years ago. 9 years ago? Eight. Final answer. That's crazy to me that they're going for that many miles and only 7 grand less, 8 grand less. Excuse me. 5 months since my 06, which I nicknamed Sticker. Nice. Best mods for towing 15 to 20,000 pounds. Okay. First and foremost, quality monitor of some sort. I highly recommend Edge CTS. Let's get some links going here for people. Let's bring up our Amazon. Let's get some affiliate links going for some of these best towing mods. What year's your truck? Bully Ram, can you tell me what year your truck is? Build your own engine. I mean, they're quality trucks, so they're bringing the money. 04 F350. That's cool because I have an 04 too. So let's see here. Edge CTS 3. So they are on the CTS 3. This would be the expensive option. Oh, there looks like there's a sale. Yeah, 380. So let's get a link. Let's get you a link. So this is like the start to the Premier option for doing stuff. You will need to get more in there. That's an affiliate link. You will need to get more like the EGT probe and stuff to run. Where's the rest of my screens? Why did I take the YouTube one out? There we go. All right, now we're all back in here. So that's kind of like the expensive option, because then off that you have to turn around and get other accessories as well. Whereas if you just run Torque Pro and this 3-in-1 glow shift gauge, you can really get away with doing a lot less. So 60 psi boost, not the temperature one, not that one. Hold on. Once I find it here, we'll bring it in. Pyro fuel pressure. There we go. So this gauge would let you, this would be a gauge you would install, obviously. And what you would do then is you would actually, hold on. We're going to go to the next. Tyler, thank you again, man. Here's the other affiliate link. You could run that cheap gauge and you could turn around and do Torque Pro on your phone and monitor basically everything. Now we're going to answer Tyler's question here, and then we're going to turn around and we'll get back to the towing modifications for you. It has 800 horsepower and the 12 valve is like the 6.4 without the BS. Man, so shoot, man, I didn't realize you had a modified 12 valve making that kind of horsepower. That's craziness. In that case, it's going to seem real sluggish compared when you go to a 7.3. With just modding the piece of pump and the trans is $3,000. Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize you had that much done to it. You're definitely gonna stock 7.3. You're gonna be sad. Yeah, you're gonna be real sad. I would definitely get your transmission fixed. I definitely wouldn't sell that truck because you're gonna miss it. Especially because it's got a story. It's cool. It's not just something you see every day. So I would definitely keep that and wait to find a transmission you could put in it. But I do think getting a 7.3 would still be a great move and would be pretty nice. Ben, I do plan to try an AirDog fuel pump in the future. I think I'm getting caught up. So best tow. All right, we're gonna get back to the towing stuff in a second. I just want to make sure I got this. My father-in-law just bought a 356 Ford dump truck from 1,000 misdiagnosis. Bad turbo. It was actually a manifold leak. His manifold was missing bolts. Nice. That's a win. Although manifolds on those suck. Okay, towing modifications for your truck. Guess I have to add a diesel playlist to my channel and start videos of the diesel trucks. Mustang Speed or Stampede, yes, you do. Get on it. So best towing modifications for your 350 dually. So now after you do that, let's see if we can find a link. I think the single best thing you can do is an airbag setup for your truck. 350 dually airbags. This looks like they'll fit. I don't know that these will, so you'll have to look into this a little bit more because I've never looked at airbags for dualies. But this is actually the kit I run on my truck. Let me make sure that this is actually for your truck. What are people running this on? Just have your spring. Yeah. So I'm pretty certain so do a little more research on these airbags. I am going to get you the affiliate link here, but this would be the next best thing I think anybody can do for towing. A good airbag setup's going to let you deal with that load better. You'll be even kind of able to balance it left to right, depending if you run 2 different air hoses out or air lines out to pump up. It's going to make towing. And I know you got the 350 dually, you got a heavy suspension already. It's just not as good as airbags. And I think anybody can agree with that. That's gone before and after. Next, so towing modifications, bully ram. Can you tell me what all's done to your truck? Like, do you have intake manifold done? Any intercooler pipe, intercooler? What all's done? Because I mean, I can tell you to do a ton of crap. I just want to know exactly where you're at. While I'm waiting for that, we are going to quick say that the I lost my train of thought entirely. It was someone else's question here. I just can't remember what the heck it was. Build your own. Oh, fuel pump. I run fast on my truck, on my white truck. I'm going to probably try AirDog on the black truck and see how that is. And that's really just to try something different. I have no issues with fast. I think they're really good. Overall, I would really just say whoever's giving you the best overall deal would be what I would recommend between the two, because I do think they both make good products. I've seen good and bad reviews on each. That is on. Man, why do I keep tearing the YouTube thing out of this thing? So here's what I've run. There's much nicer Bluetooth adapters out there that you can get into. Hopefully someone says some names and I'll see if I can't find some links for you guys, because there are nicer ones out there. I can never remember the darn names for them. This is what my brother and I have run. I should probably buy one of these and actually start doing some 4Scan reviews and Torque Pro on the 6.7. But this is what I run, and I've had good luck with it. Like I said, there are better ones out there, but the cost value of this, it's $10. So $10 for that, $5 for Torque Pro, and you're talking the ability on a 6-liter to monitor almost everything you need. That's kind of hard to beat for the value of it. Is it as nice as the Edge CTS series? No. Is it as overall capable as the Edge CTS series? No. But is it very cost effective and does most of what you need? Yep. So you have an EGR delete, oil cooler, new head gaskets, ARP head studs, S&B intake, resurface heads, injectors. Bully Ram, are you running factory injectors? Is my next question. We're gonna get you some links here. So since you're talking towing so much, sorry, I was just reading that comment. Since you're towing really, really heavy, I do think a turbo upgrade would help, but I would actually recommend staying relatively small. The reason for that being is when you go too big, you're going to really need to be in it. I do think it. So Turbo Time USA has, I'm going to put the link here. And then if you are interested in this, make sure to use discount code 6.0 Bros, which I'll type under here. That code will give you 5% off that charger. Now, the reason I recommend such a small upgrade is that it'll put you to a 10-blade turbine side. So when you're pulling a grade, your exhaust temps will stay down. The 61 millimeter will flow more air than the factory charger. Plus, you get the perk of the billet wheel itself. And it's small enough to still spool really quick. So you will have better performance, but it's still small and be able to spool really fast. Other things you could consider looking into would be like a CSF 6028 intercooler to help if you have any plastic intercooler pipes replacing with metal. I like MBRP and No Limit Fab for them. The ODOG intake manifold. Now, then kind of getting into some other stuff that's kind of harder to get to, but BD exhaust manifolds, a BD Y pipe. If you don't already, I recommend a 3.5-inch downpipe exhaust to a 4-inch out. That'll help, again, keeping the smaller downpipe will help you with faster spool up, because the factory downpipe is only like 3 inches. So you still gain performance in the overall setup without losing anything. But for towing purposes, that's an ideal setup, the 3.5-inch downpipe. If you want more of a V8 rumble, the 5-inch off the downpipe will give you that. If you like more of the whistle, or I think they're a little quieter in the 4-inch pipe variety, that'll give you that too. So. The last thing you could look at would be a water meth injection. I haven't messed with it much, but it is proven to bring exhaust temps down. and it will give you a little boost in fuel economy. And there's some really cool progressive controllers out there that you can kind of start to ramp up in like the 8 psi range and have it like full throttle by like 20 psi, which when you're towing, especially that kind of weight, you spend more time in boost than people realize. It's not like cruising unloaded. I haven't tried track bars yet. I do want to put a set on one of the trucks and see how they run, just to kind of try them. Having difficulty with slow coolant leak, I run a bypass hose from oil cooler cover to degas, use plastic T, excuse me. My contacts are messing up, so I keep blinking like I'm a weirdo. Plastic didn't hold with brass and just a wee bit small. 7/8. Robert, all right, I'm not quite sure I see what you're saying. So if you can take pictures of it and send it to my Instagram, I will be happy to help after the live stream. Because I'm just not quite understanding it, so it's hard for me to give advice when I can't see it in my head. I think I know what you're talking about, but before I really open and give a full opinion, I want to make sure I understand completely. So please take pictures and send them to my Instagram. My Instagram, if you go to the channel page, there's a link in the banner across the top to it, because there is a 6.0 Bros Instagram page that isn't me. Which reminds me, do you know someone's trying to steal the shirt design Josh and his girlfriend came up with that has the turbo and 6.0, the original design? The logo that's the thumbnail for this video. There's a ripoff company trying to take that, and I am not happy about it. Sorry. End rant. I got an Android head unit. Oh, yeah, I actually run that. I have an Android head unit in my white truck, and that's what I do too, and I love it. I will say this. It's nice when you're monitoring. It's frustrating when you're like using because it's Android, so you're using GPS on it. You got your monitor on it. You're playing. I play Spotify off it. So you have all these things going, and sometimes switching between all three is a little cumbersome. And that is kind of why I really like the Edge system. But I will say this, for most of the time, it's super simple because it's only a handful of times I'm running GPS anyway. Best money ever spent, hands down, was LASIK. Oh, great. I do plan to get LASIK. The goal is when I get my RN, it's going to be my gift to myself, is to buy myself LASIK. So I do really want it. Right now is not the time. I was just looking at track bars. Let's see here. Mr. Chris, I think Cummins swaps are overdone and pointless. Yeah, no, I think Cummins swaps were cool when nobody was doing them, but like everybody does a Cummins now, and it's like everyone's go-to solution. It's kind of annoying. Like, it's just overplayed. You're not really gaining performance doing a Cummins swap. I would think, like, if you wanted to, I'd be more behind, like, thanks, man. Don't worry. I'm like 2 years away from my RN, so I got a while. And that was going to be my next point here, is the money you're going to have in it, literally just go buy a new engine and drive. Like, you can buy a performance rated engine from Kill Devil Diesel for the cost of what you're going to have. And you can probably have that installed for the cost that you're going to have in like random crap for that, because then you got to make everything work. And I know a lot of people do it. I'm not saying it's not doable. I'm just saying it's not really cool anymore, in my opinion. Now, if you were to drop like a 17 or newer, 15 and newer 6.7 in there, that'd be a lot cooler to me. Bully Ram, the Kill Devil engine. We were just looking at these. So there's stage 1 long block. Man, I feel like these have gone up in price. Their stage 1 long block is 10 grand, but right now they are running specials, and you can actually get that for 10% off. The other thing is, depending on your level of capability, there is a build in a box that their stage 1 is $6,500, and it's literally everything you need. It's an engine block that's machined and prepped, ready to go together with new freeze plugs, cam bearings, and threaded oil galleys already installed. It's got a new crankshaft, precision balanced and polished. I am reading off their website. I'm not that much of a salesman for companies I believe in, but I do believe in them and I like them. And it's fitted to the rod and main bearings to ensure proper clearance. Genuine Ford rods are standard, or you can upgrade the Cali, Carrillo, or Wagler rods. And there's a whole host of options here to add to any of it, but yeah, so those are the Kill Devil diesel options. We did one last week. 25 grand. God. Man, yeah, buy a $10,000 awesome engine from Kill Devil and drop it in and call it a day. You'd be so much happier with it than putting a Cummins in there, honestly. Plus, it sounds better. You would definitely be better off getting your 6.0 bulletproofed. Let's see here. Cummins was the go-to build. Great until we figured out proper way to fit. Hands down, yeah. Now we know the 6.0 and how to make it right, and yeah, just go that route. There's a shop or mechanic you recommend in the PA, West Virginia, Ohio area. Yeah, Chow, I recommend DNA. I don't even know if he likes that I recommend him at this point. What happened, guys? One thing, if I recommend a shop, please don't call and harass him for 2 days about stuff and then not actually do anything. Like, his time is valuable. And unfortunately, that's a lot of what he gets based on my recommendation. I feel really crappy about that. But I do recommend him. Greg at Diesel and Automotive is a cool guy. He's super, he does nice work. If you went there, you'd get to see my white truck sitting in his parking lot at the moment. So, no, I do recommend him for work. He's in Lancaster County area, Brownstown, Pennsylvania, to be specific. And that's who I recommend. I don't really know a ton of other places depending on what you want to do. But Diesel and Automotive is the only shop my truck goes to. Six seven Cummins. Yeah, I think it's an overrated engine personally. I was just saying that it's only Powerstroke that I would swap 6.4 as the disposable engine. So the funny thing about that, the 6.4 is, this throwaway engine, but what a lot of people aren't talking about is the aftermarket. The aftermarket saved the 6.0 and figured it out. But with the 6.4 is like people are putting max force pistons in it. Now there's steel piston. I think the steel piston is a game changer for the 6.4 because my biggest concern I've ever had with the 6.4 was always pistons cracking, and they're even in factory form they crack. Now you can steel pistons in it. You're really going to kind of mitigate that a lot. So I think that's really cool. I'm not saying the 6.4 is amazing design or anything like that, but I feel like there's now answers to the biggest problems of the 6.4. So I don't know that they're necessarily as throwaway engines as they used to be, in my opinion. I can't say I would never buy a 6.4. It's just if I was, I would definitely be having steel pistons put in that sucker. Excuse me. I want my truck to be solid and reliable as my daily driver and work truck. Hey, man, the 6.0 is a much better engine than people give it credit for it. Maintain it. Don't race an 8,000-pound truck. Ask me how I know. I will. That being said, I'm going to definitely race it more. 100%. We'll be doing more racing in the white truck. But don't double the factory horsepower. Race it a bunch of times and expect it to stay together. That being said, I was thinking about this the other day. I wonder if I lost a lifter. Because when I did my lifters, I didn't replace the trays for the lifters. I just replaced the lifters themselves. And I'm wondering if maybe a tray didn't fail, causing a lifter to go bad. I was thinking about that the other day. Oh, that's kind of a cool idea. I never thought of that, Tyler. But they're good trucks, man, and especially if you're talking about putting money into one, they can be amazing trucks, and you don't need to make a bunch of power. Honestly, my recommendation for most people, um, when the time comes, stud it, mild turbo upgrade to like a stage one, like from the turbo time I posted, or even their stage two 64 millimeter, a very mild injector upgrade when the time comes when your injectors go. And honestly, you'll be so happy with your truck. So, Tyler, question: what's different between the Max Force version of the engine, um, or industrial version of it, over the one that went into the actual Ford Power Strokes? Because I don't know. So I think that's kind of sorry. Someone just sent. Now I need to look at this because someone just sent me this. So anyway, what is the difference? I think that's a kind of a cool thing. Can you recommend a solid high pressure row pump for my O3? Yes, CNC Fab. Why do I feel like my buddy got hacked here and what she sent me? Sorry. Yep, that's unfortunate. My buddy's page got hacked. Sorry, guys. I am coming back. We're gonna close all that out. We're gonna restart the phone. Because I don't want whatever just got on there to get me. So CNC Fab, Diesel site is another good one. I personally kind of like CNC Fab a little more, really for no reason other than I like CNC Fab. Uh, and they're cheaper. Let's see here. CNC Fab. Well, that ain't it. I have no. Are they like LLC? CNC Fab LLC, maybe? CNCFab.us. There we go. All right, let's get you guys a link. This is the high pressure row pump I personally run in my truck. I run a stage one. I wish I would have bought a stage two. I think he's like $200 to $400 cheaper than the equivalent adrenaline pump. And I actually have a video talking about that. Full size rockers and no emissions on the back of the engine. Oh, that's valid. Yeah, so when I bought mine, he just had a core charge, so I think I only paid like $600 for my pump, whereas for an upgraded pump, whereas the diesel site one. Now, don't get me wrong, terrible sentence. The diesel site one has a really cool looking billet body and everything. It looks super cool, but you never see it. It's not really worth it. And the issues with the factory housing. There's currently a revised housing out, so there's no real reason to do the super cool billet one other than nonsense. Coke. Good stuff. Guys, when we hit 10,000, mind you, don't forget about the giveaways. Don't forget about the limited edition shirts that are going to come out. We're gonna do our record live stream when we hit 10,000 subscribers. We're gonna plan. It's gonna be advertised all over. We're gonna do a 4-hour live stream when this happens. I'm gonna literally have notes set aside for it's gonna be so long. So I've never done a 4-hour live stream, and I'm not going with some crown. It's even better. It's like me, Mustang Stampede. Not that I would ever drink live on the air. Oh, wait, Mustang Stampede, I feel like I've talked to you before. You're just now subscribing? I'm just kidding, man. Thank you. I do appreciate the support. So anyway, yeah, limited edition t-shirts are coming out. We're also going to be doing, I'm going to be purchasing some tunes from Blessed Performance for at least 2, if not 3 subscribers. They're also going to be getting for free the shirt, and no purchase necessary. Hold on, let me bring up another page and we will go check out your page. YouTube. Definitely want to support other content creators. What do you mean? Am I spelling it wrong? All right. I think we're the Mustang stamp. Yeah, I'm spelling it wrong. I'm an idiot. Where the heck is it? I'm literally looking at it and I can't find it. The Mustang Stampede. Anyway, so yeah, oh, there you are. I am officially subscribed, man. So yeah, there will be no purchase necessary. We're just going to get out. We're just going to get this out there for you guys. It's no purchase necessary. It'll all happen in the live stream. I'll have very specific rules and how to win there. So, excuse me. So again, 3 winners, 3 packages coming to people when we hit 10,000 subscribers. So tell your friends, share the videos, get the word out there. We need to get to 10,000. Hopefully, I'd like to in December. Oh yeah, I turned my phone off because I clicked on my friend's hacked link. Anyway, let's see here. EPA sucks. Agreed. How do you call it? Quits in the regen. Oh, I hated when, I mean, not that I would delete my 6.7. It's all factory emissions compliant. Yeah, I hate when that happens with the regens. That's annoying. And thank you, Mustang. Thank you, Mustang Stampede. We're calling it Stampede. I'm getting tongue-tied. It's been a very long week so far. But thank you, man. I do appreciate you checking, subscribing. Seriously, that's awesome. So Tyler, here would be my concern with machining. So the block, yes, you can definitely machine the block, because remember the 6.4 actually has larger cylinders and factory go away EPA. So it has larger, the 6.4 has larger cylinders and it's the same block as a 6.0, just machined differently. So they could definitely machine the block to accept it. My question would be in the cylinder heads. The other thing is I don't know that there'd necessarily be a perk to it. I think the value equation would be really hard. We'll get to that 6.0 question in just a second. I think your value equation in the time to machine the block to accept a larger stud and then machine the head to accept the larger stud. I'm not saying it's not doable or that somebody won't in the future. I just don't know that with O-ringed heads, you'd be talking about a very, very specific group of people that would be actually benefiting from that. What happened to my 6.0? 1 second. I definitely have questions about the heads. Sell it now. No, I will never sell my 6.0 ever. That's stupid. So we don't know 100% what happened. What we do know happened is I lost compression in one of the cylinders. It could be a lifter failure. It could be, what I'm actually thinking happening is a lifter failure caused by They're not actually money pits. That's absurd to think they're just money pits. They're really not. My friend's now saying about her getting hacked. So I'm going to make the comment about stay off the shady websites. If my phone will let me. Anyway, so yeah, I think what probably happened here is that most likely, I think one of the trays failed. We could also have a cracked piston. There could be something in the cylinder head that's wrong. But I think when I was thinking about this the other day, I didn't replace the lifter guide, so they kind of sit in like a tray that holds them in. That tray could have failed, and that could be the issue I'm experiencing. Holy crap, that's insane. 627 miles completely stock. Yeah, no, they're not money pits, man. They just aren't. That's kind of a bad rep they've gotten from crappy mechanics down the road. But really, it's just at the end of the day, it's not true. It hasn't been my experience personally. I mean, I have a high mileage truck. They are plastic. Yep. So I do think that kind of falls into why we've had issues. And again, it's just trying to fix them and run with it and get it all sorted out when we can. I didn't replace them when I had the work done because it didn't come in the set, and I didn't even think to replace them. I also didn't realize I was going to start really pushing the power the way I was, so that's kind of my fault. Yeah, man, I struggle. I mean, I tell people all the time I didn't have a nice 2015 Lariat money, but I had broken Lariat, a 2015 Lariat money, and then I just wasted a bunch more money fixing it over the next year. Finally, it drives nice, thankfully, because that was a very frustrating thing, but it does actually drive nice now. So, those of you guys that haven't been in here this whole, where are my moderators? None of my mods came in today. Anyway, those of you guys that are just joining, 6.0 Bros on the Teespring merch store will get you free shipping on all orders. There will be future new merch coming out this week. There also will be future sales through the holiday seasons. Also, guys, check out the channel membership. And we will have more stuff there. There'll be special codes for the level 2 level membership. So it's 3 tiers. Level 2 will get you special discounts that won't be ever talked about on this segment here. How much did I pay for the 15? So my 15, I paid 33.5, I believe, for it. And I bought it with 87,000 miles. It's a Lariat, crew cab, short bed. It's a cool truck, but it's been beaten pretty hard. There was a ton of undercoat on it, and I thought at first, like, maybe it's not bad. Maybe they just took care of it. And we've definitely had issues. And they definitely tried hiding a lot of stuff. And they wouldn't put it on a lift for me to look at. Even though I requested, even though they told me prior that they would let me do that. So, Auto World USA in Ohio, I just disagree with them. And they tried telling me how, no, it's a fine truck. And little did they know, I videoed me taking this piece of crap apart and fixing everything. They're shady dealership. I don't recommend them, and I don't like them either. I'd go as far as say I hate them. 5K oil change with Rotella T4 and Arch Oil and Section Eliminator. I'm definitely a fan of Arch Oil. I typically just stick to Motorcraft oil, to be honest. I would like to try Schaefer's in my Actually, Josh just put Schaefer's in his truck. It is expensive, but I do actually believe that's good oil. Going strong by the past month. I've done glow plugs, AC compressor, and tensioner, block heater. Now it's making a new noise. Sounds like a wire is arcing off somewhere. Well, dude, 230,000 miles on a truck is pretty freaking good. So yeah, so 556. One, awesome caliper. Two, yeah, 230,000 miles is a lot. You gotta remember, you're talking about an 8,000 pound truck. They're heavy, they're hard on everything. They are built to deal with it, but they are just hard on these things. Danny, I don't know that that's necessarily possible, but hey, if somebody has a hookup on '08 King Ranch seats for my guy here, hit him up. So what kind of sound is it making, man? I mean, if you can, does it sound like a like almost like a tea kettle? Because I know what that is. If it is, if you can describe the sound and where it seems to be coming from, we can probably help you figure it out. And hopefully, it's not too much of a headache. But I mean, 230,000 miles and an AC compressor went, a tensioner went, a block heater. Well, it does, dude. It does suck. I can't say it. It doesn't. I mean, that's probably $1,000, $2,000 in crap to deal with, depending on how bad a shop ripped you off on the AC compressor stuff. But like, it. Yeah, I hear you. It does. It just sucks, and I get it. That's funny. So I told my friend to stay off the shady websites, and then she said she clicked it, and now they hacked her. She goes, "So you're next, Jared." It's in a big group chat with a bunch of my friends. So that stinks. It's unfortunate. Anyway, here, sounds like it's coming from the fuel bowl area. Exhaust leak should be constant, not like a wire arcing filter area. By did it make your fuel pump loud, or like what are you hearing? Do you feel like you hear air being pushed out that area? If I mean, things to check for arcing would be around like your valve covers. There's the wiring harness that goes around there, making sure that all of that's not chafing. Trying to think what else goes in that area. I think really by the valve cover, there's some tight turns and could be it. I do think a lot of some wire chafing happens by the fan, the plug that goes to the fan. So I would check that and see if there's any shorts there. But I do think like around the valve cover area, like right kind of where the cold side intercooler pipe comes up, I do think right in there I'd be looking for it. But yeah, no, that short is pretty common. Yeah, mouse do like to chew crap, and it's annoying. I haven't had that as an issue, but I know lots of people that have, and it's awful. It's terrible. But yeah, overall, I mean, the 6.0, they are good engines. I'm not saying, I will say this, they're finicky. Glow plug harness as well. Yep, that's down a little lower. But you can definitely run into some stuff there that it does make sense. I did have the fan unplugged and shroud. Yeah, I would definitely recheck that. Yeah, Robert, that's kind of what I was getting at, because a lot of people don't know what to do with that noise, but it's normally just the Y pipe. Having the cats to keep them away is key. We just set up mouse traps because we don't have a cat. We have a dog that she would definitely chase a mouse, but I don't know if she's quite quick enough to catch them. She's almost caught a few neighborhood cats, though. So yeah, no harm in double checking. It could be I've trying to what else? What other? Check your mass airflow off your intake. See if that is. I I actually had arcing on mine, and so I'm at the track. I finally have my best launch of the day. It's the first time I've ever raced my white truck, and I'm in it. I'm about to win my first drag race. I'm super excited, and I lose all power. And this little piece of crap vehicle passes me. I was so upset. But yeah, you win some, you lose some, and that's what it was. It was shorting out. There was a chafed wire plugged into my mass airflow sensor. It shorted out under boost, and I popped a fuse. You just replaced the Y pipe and manifolds. It gave off a hissing sound. My guess is it's not fully seated to your turbo is typically the issue. Excuse me. So what you want to do, the Y pipe to manifold connection on the driver's side, loosen that up. No problem, 556. Anytime, brother. If that doesn't help, feel free to message me, and I'm happy to help continue bounce ideas off you and see if we can't help. Oh, before you replace it. Never mind. I was sorry. Sometimes I get into just help mode, and I'm just like, question, gotta answer it. Again, those of you that haven't, check out the merch store at Teespring and use code 6.0 Bros to get free shipping on all your stuff. Sorry, I'm closing out of some of these windows to not have so much crap open in the background. But, yep. All right, I'm back. Do you replace the turbo? Did I replace a turbo, or did he replace the turbo? I replaced the turbo a few times. I swear, there seems like there's times on my 6-liter, it's like every couple months I was pulling the turbo. Not even every couple weeks. There was a point I felt like I was pulling the turbo to do something else dumb or make a video. The perk, I'm really good at pulling 6-liter turbos now, which leads me to some exciting stuff. I can't tell you much about it, but there's some cool, extremely innovative products coming from Turbo Time USA, guys. I have them in my room right now. We're going to try to get the one installed on the 6.7 maybe this weekend, which reminds me, I need to order an intake manifold gasket set for the 6.7. I should probably look that up now. How is that an in? Who? No. No. That one might be it. I hope it's it. Anyway, so we have something super cool coming in the very near future for nope, it's not it, guys. In case you were wondering, it was not it. We do have some really cool stuff coming. Nick, we finally got one of my mods in here. Hey, man, welcome to the channel. Welcome back, brother. Always good to have you in here. So I cannot tell you what the actual product is. I actually asked them yesterday. I asked the owner of the company if I could do a reveal video of it, and I can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the what I'll let you know is I need to take the upper intake manifold off of the truck. That's that giant plastic piece. That was very deliberate that you only saw boxes. What truck do you think I've seen blow the most head gaskets? And no, it's not a 6.0. I'd guess. Hey, it's Amia. What's up, brother? How you doing? Most. I don't know, man. I was gonna say 6.4, but I feel 6.4s don't blow head gaskets as often as 6.0s do. They just destroy engines more than 6.0s do. So I don't know. No, it is not a GXR. So I will say this. We've got a lot of turbo questions for the 6.7 lately. The goal is next summer to replace the turbo, probably with their stage 2. I think it's like a GX. Let me just look up exactly what we're going to be putting on the 6.7 because I already have the turbo picked out. Their GXR V8 is what's going to go on our 6.7 next summer, most likely. It might happen before, depending on how impatient I get. But yeah, next summer the goal is to do that. This winter the goal. So I'd like to get. I'd like to do the intercooler piping kit in the next couple months, provided it's reasonably priced. I'm looking at I'm looking at a pusher kit. I'm looking at Absolute Performance. No Limit. Excuse me. No Limit Fab is also in the running. And then I want to do the BD manifold, exhaust manifolds before I do the turbo. BD did send them out to me, so I feel kind of crappy. I haven't gotten them on there yet, but it's going to kind of be a shit show. I didn't mean to curse. Oh well. It is very expensive, Ethan. It is how much is it? It's $2,900, and that's on sale. $2,950. But if you use 6.0 Bros coupon code, you don't have to worry about that cost because you get 5% off. So I highly recommend that. And here's the thing: is I want to do it because I really want to. I want to get the review out there. I think it's a practical turbo. I looked a lot at their turbos to kind of decide what I wanted to do, and now I gotta say this, full disclosure, I don't pay for products from TurboTime USA. I don't say that to be like, oh, look at me, I'm important. I'm not. I do, just full disclosure to you guys. They do send me the stuff. It does perform, and everybody I've talked to that's run their stuff has been super happy with the performance of it. There are people that there are guys that have Lay is the LLY is the worst. Oh, I see. There's side conversation happening here. So I just want you guys to be aware of how it happens. They are a huge supporter of the channel. They sent me 2 pre-production products for review. I'm super excited to try. They've sent me 2 turbos for 6 liters. Granted, one, the 64 millimeter, has not been used. It's sitting in Josh's garage. I'd like to put it on, and he said no. So that's not happening, and that's because I'm also not paying if anything happens to his truck. And he's been super busy and just needs it to be reliable, so I get it. They will probably, my assumption is they will continue to send free turbos. I'm assuming they will send that out to me for free when the time comes. And again, honestly, how that continues to happen, how you guys keep getting turbo reviews and new part reviews, I'm going to do a vacuum gauge thing, is really just when you're ready to buy stuff, show them some love, use my discount code. And all that stuff goes to support the channel. I do get 5% back. I get what you guys get in a discount, I get back in return. So I just try to be open with you guys about it. But I will say this: I will never advocate for a product, whether they're giving me something in return or not. 1, without letting you guys know, and 2, if it sucks, and I will say it. I would much rather, the integrity of my channel means more to me than a sponsor. Fortunately, TurboTime USA has been awesome to work with. 1, they don't give me any flack, even when I essentially advocate for other companies in the exact same market they are in. So they're super cool about that. They understand how much the integrity of the channel means to me, and they're really cool with me doing that. They have no issues with it. I'm sure they'd like that I never talked about any other turbo company, but my goal is to provide you guys with information and quality content. And if that means I need to talk about other companies that are doing good stuff, I will. And they get that, and that's cool. So I really appreciate that. They are a good group of guys. I just had like a 2-hour meeting with them last week with the owner and the one of the salesmen, Mike. And it was just awesome. Good group of guys, and we were texting yesterday. So there will be a video installing said product, but really all you guys are going to see is me. You're going to get to look at the turbo. It doesn't really look cool, but you're going to get to look at it. And I'm going to put a product in that you guys aren't going to see me actually put the product in, because I was told I'm not allowed to, because they're not ready to release it yet. This is pre-production testing, which is super cool to be a part of. Honestly, I'm pretty excited. So, intercooler piping kit, water meth injection, BD exhaust manifolds, and then the turbo's coming. This winter, though, we'll probably focus more on, I'd like to 4-link the front end. I'd like to get some components powder coated as well. What else is on the, oh, that felt good. What else is on the agenda? I definitely would like to get a few things powder coated. I'd even like to actually get new leaf springs for the rear and get them powder coated. I'd like to get new front coil springs, get them powder coated. All the intercooler piping will be powder coated to match. Ethan, I cannot say what it is. I can tell you this. It's not a full turbo. It is a part that will work on any turbo for the 6.7. I should clarify that. I know it'll, it should work for any of the 6.7 turbos. And they also have this product coming to the 6-liter world as well. You have a 370,000 mile 0460. What do you need to look for? First off, awesome mileage count. Second, make sure you maintain it well. Favorite platform for power, 12-valve is the best. Rods for 12-valve heads flow best after you machine it and start it. I love all the different diesels, though. Yeah, I do really love all the different diesels. Fords are where I'm at. Duramaxes are actually my second favorite. That said, I don't ever work on them. Controlled Insanity, what's up, brother? So one, thank you. My three of my mods are in here. I think I have like 4 total, maybe 5. But 3 of you guys are in here, so awesome. Glad to have you. Victor, we'll get to your question in a second. So Tuesday, because of work, I wasn't able to do Tuesday. I was going to then do Thursday, but then realized it's Thanksgiving, so we X'd that out, and we are going with, we ended up sneaking one in here Wednesday, so that is my bad. I apologize. Bear with me. Work has been crazy right now. During everything going on with the pandemic. And so, yeah, it's been crazy. I do apologize. The goal is to continually go back to Tuesdays. Just had some stuff come up, so I am sorry, guys. But I am trying to make sure that, that you guys get a weekly live stream. Delicious. So, what do you need to look for? I would definitely. So, Controlled Insanity. The topic is really best year 6.0. I've spent very little time discussing best year 6.0 because it's been a really lively live chat. So that's been cool. Things you have missed before we start talking about what to look for in a 6.0 of that year in mileage, which is really everything you just look for in 6 liters, to be honest. But on the Teespring website, the merch store, there's currently a free shipping code. 6.0 Bros, the same as that we use for Blessed Performance and Turbo Time USA. That code gets you free shipping on orders. Next, we have channel memberships going up, which should be live by now. The channel memberships, it's a 3-tier program, and each tier has a different perk. So tier 1 is $2 a month, and that is early access / exclusive access to videos. So it would be a video series I would do on kind of behind the scenes stuff. They wouldn't be like the polished, like me attempting. You'd see a lot more of my mistakes. You'd see a lot more of me probably hurting myself at times, or me on day 3 of trying to shoot the same video. That's the first stage. Second stage is $10 a month, and what that'll get you guys is that's going to get you a special discount code. So it'll be a special discount code for the merch store, and it'll just be a constant thing. It'll always be available to you guys, and it'll always be more than what's currently available to the general public at any given time. So there is that. That'll be the level 2. I'm also looking at I want to talk to Blessed Performance because he has an affiliate program set up for me. And for my level 2 people with a special coupon code, I want to ask if he'll cut out part of what he sends back to me and just put it all a discount to you guys that are paying that $10 a month. To be a part of the channel membership. The last one is, 1, expensive, and 2, I don't really see a perk in it. It's $25 a month. And honestly, it would be exclusive live streams for members. Currently, I don't think I'm big enough for that to really be a value. And the reason it's so expensive is really just the time to do an additional live stream. It's a lot. But again, it is something that maybe as the channel grows, people want to do that, but I'm not really pushing it. I'm not pushing the channel membership really at all. I am talking about it, but it's just let you guys know it's there. And I tried to give you guys something of value. So for the people doing the $2 a month, a video that would never typically come out, you guys would get to see. And if enough people said, hey, release this to everybody, I would do it. But it would be very dependent upon the members in that program to give them value that other people aren't getting. Second, the second one would be, the discount code. I want to give you guys something of value that other people wouldn't, which is why it would always be a better discount code than everybody else is getting in the general public. So, yeah, those are really our things that we kind of talked about today. Also, reminder, at 10,000 subscribers, we're doing with the current platform exists, YouTube going to change. I do think YouTube's going to have changes in the near future. Hey, they could be good, they could be bad. I don't know. They've recently made a change that non-monetized channels, that they are saying it is our right to air ads on at any time. So Controlled Insanity, thank you, man. I do try to be, what's really funny about how much social media presence I have? So what's really funny about that is I'm actually a relatively private person. And it was really hard at first to kind of start doing this and really let people into your own life, even in small aspects like we do. Like those of you guys that have seen the early videos, the third video we ever released was really Josh and me goofing around, making fun of each other and having fun and just kind of had no idea what the heck we're doing. Second, there's videos of my niece climbing around. We did the tow mirror. One of the funniest things, the tow mirror install video. Josh and I didn't even know she was doing it, but she was behind the camera and she's waving in the mirror of the tow mirrors, and we don't realize she's doing this. It was super funny, but it's been cool. So it's something I've gotten better about doing, letting people in. Some of the real early videos, like the girl I was dating at the time was actually filming for me. Small beefs, no problem, man. Yeah, Mustang Stampede, I can't blame you. It's definitely it's different. It's weird. I've gotten really used to it now. And fortunately, sorry, I'm snooping. Nick, we'll talk about that in just a second. Whoop whoop. Police. But fortunately / unfortunately, my channel's not big enough that I don't ever get stopped anywhere. A few subscribers have come out to events they knew I was going to be at. That's really and honestly, that's a super cool feeling to have people come out and talk to you and see and actually care what you do enough to feel compelled to come see you at an event. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, Chris Fix comes to mind. I think he's maybe shown his face on like 3 videos. Most of the time, you have no idea what he looks like, and he makes one of the nicest set of videos like on the market. I mean, there's a reason he's one of the largest auto vlogger YouTubers out there. He just has a heck of a way that he does his content, and he's fun to watch. He's entertaining, and you never see him. You could probably identify him from here down because that's all you see is this. But he's great. I love what he does. But no, I definitely get that. End game for channels that are monetized. I have not heard YouTube's end game for channels that are monetized, which is scary to hear because I really enjoy this. And not that I would stop if I wasn't making money, but I definitely wouldn't be able to keep up at the rate I'm going without it. Things would slow down. I don't talk about financial stuff often, but you risk a certain amount of money doing some of the things I've kind of steamrolled ahead to attempt to do. And it was all at the idea that I'd get to this point and maybe beyond, hopefully a little further. Mustang Stampede. I'm going to need you to message me on Instagram and send me what the letter is. Chow, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I try to be very helpful in what I do, and I try to bring good knowledge and some class to the platform. So I appreciate that. The Mustang Stampede has me scared right now what could happen in the future, but it was like top 100 channels is the end. If you're not in the top 100, you're not getting monetized. I will say this, I don't know that they'll ever be able to pull that off because they'll lose too much of the platform. Mustang Stampede, are you monetized now? I mean, you have enough subscribers. That was the hard part for me, was getting the subscribers. And hey, if you ever want help or advice on certain things, let me know. I'm happy to help in any way I can, man. Well, Mustang Stampede, reach out to me on Instagram or email me, and I'd be happy to talk with you. And maybe I'm obviously not the world's most successful YouTuber, but if it's something you're interested in, I'm happy to help kind of steer you in the direction of things I've looked to for advice. Chow, thanks, man. Nick, the vacuum gauge here. So, the vacuum gauge. So here's what a lot of so with turbos in general, as they're pulling air in, and this kind of goes into restrictive air intake systems. And I'm really excited to do this, especially on a 6-liter. What happens when your air intake can't supply enough air volume is you start to create a vacuum, helping pull more air in, which it's essentially kind of like a measurement of resistance, so to speak. And excuse me, on the gauge itself, there's a green section, which is good. You're good there. There's a yellow section, and then there's a red section. And basically, what can happen when you're causing excessive vacuum in a turbocharged system is it's actually wearing on the turbo, because obviously there's tolerances. Not everything's perfectly still or anything. There's a level of wiggle. It just is very small. So think about like if you were to take a sledgehammer to a stump and just keep bam, bam, bam. What would eventually happen is you'd have a really big indent. Well, essentially it can cause bearing failure in there because it's constantly pounding against stuff with this vacuum. So Tyler, is that what it's referred to, delta pressure? I know you probably know more about this overall than me. I'm only really starting to learn this after talking to my turbo sponsor the other day. So essentially what they're trying to do is say, hey, here's the safe area to be in, and here's where you're not. This could also be a way to measure the air filter, and if it's good, if you're normally in the green and you start hitting, into the yellow, kind of be a warning like, hey, I need to change my filter out, or I need to treat it in some way, shape, or form. Oh, hey, Stampede, I just gotcha. So, sorry. Yeah, 6.0 Cole, I didn't miss you completely. Where is your... Oh, there you are. So you found a... So you found an 0560, got the guy drop price from 10 to 5, but the truck has not moved for 2 years straight. That is what I was told. Could it be fuel, gone gel up, or is the truck even worth getting? 2-year-old diesel fuel, I would not run in there at all. I hate some of this nonsense that pops up. One of the dumbest things about McAfee and Windows 10 is the little alert bubble you get down here. I hate it, and I've tried turning it off, but McAfee still sends me crap. Yeah, one, I wouldn't run that fuel at all. I would definitely drain it. There is so much going on. Really, you're going to need a good scan tool. On the affordable side, you could run Torque Pro or 4Scan with a cheap like $10 OBD2 Bluetooth hookup. You could do you could go and get Edge CTS2. There's other options out there that you could look at, but I definitely wouldn't. I think it's worth getting. It's just hard knowing. Like, I mean, at $5,000, you got a pretty decent price on it. Depending on mileage and stuff, it's probably about as cheap as you're going to get it. But, yeah, I gotta say, I really actually dislike Scan Gauge too. I just don't think it's super compared to Torque Pro and 4Scan with the Bluetooth thing. I just think overall it's a better setup. And you can read more at once. It's more intuitive than 4Scan. I'm just not like a diehard fan of it. I haven't heard bad stuff about Scan Gauge. Excuse me. I just think there's better options personally. Don't get me wrong. When the Scan Gauge 2 came out, like it was the best cost-effective option you could get. Well, I'm not saying trash it right now, brother. At the time, though, I mean, like, when it came out for its time, it was, like, amazing. Now, down the road, it's just not as nice of an option as it used to be. Especially, apps have come a long way from... I mean, Scan Gauge 2 has been out for, like, a decade. So, think back a decade of what was going on. Yeah, delta pressure, then spools around, then back pressure up, then pushes back on the exhaust. Eventually can cause the head to lift. Huh. Didn't even think about that. I do know when the Dodge Cummins, or I guess the Cummins, ran with the Cummins engine and it went to a VGT system, they had a heck of a time tuning these, and they were having issues because they didn't know what they were doing. Much like 6-liter tuners did back in the day when they all had to experiment and break a bunch of crap before they had it figured out too. Hey, I want to say Diesel Tech Ron was a hell of a guy. And he was such an asset to the diesel community, especially for 6-liter guys. What a shame that he's passed. Because he did seem like such a genuinely great guy. It's just sad to hear. Yeah, Diesel Tech Ron will be remembered for a long, long time. Bang for the buck, 4Scan hands down. It's a Ford specific, able to read all modules and has specific tests. I will say 4Scan is an incredibly powerful tool. I think it's a little more confusing than Torque Pro, but I'll say this, it is much more powerful than Torque Pro is too. And honestly, I have both. I don't use them too often, but I do have both. I need to get another. I have my OBD2 Bluetooth in my white truck, and I don't feel like taking it out. Even if I were to go shoot a video with the white truck, which I'm planning on doing soon, but I'm not taking that out of there. I just leave it in there. I just need to get a second one and leave it in my truck, or the black truck, I should say. I feel like I was answering a question. I went on a tangent. So high EGTs, high boost is known as delta pressure. That's super cool, and it kind of makes me think about maybe in factory configuration, the 6.7 has a little of that going on, because I definitely had to back out of the throttle a little bit because exhaust temps were getting pretty high towing, and it was something I haven't seen. I haven't had that issue with my 6-liter, so I was kind of like, what the heck? With my 6.7, which is kind of a tidbit at a future video about 6.7 versus the 6.0. Specifically, my tuned and modified 6.0 with towing. I know it's not a fair apples to apples comparison, but I figure we can let the 6.0 have mods, since the 6.7 that we were running around in has about a decade more of advancements happening. Which I think would be a cool video. I think you guys will actually be really surprised at what I say in some of that video, to be honest. So, Jared, have you ever adjusted the rev mile on your SCT? Also, do you know if trans tuning overrides the SCT adjustments? I don't know if it overrides the SCT adjustments. You definitely would have to talk to your tuner for that. Tyler, if you are ever in the Pennsylvania area, you bring the 6.4. I think we'll feature it on the channel, which is kind of cool because Ninja, if you're still in here, I don't think I've seen you comment in a minute. Or not Ninja. Yeah, no, Ninja. Nick, I forget who. 2 subscribers are considering letting me use their vehicle for like some tuning reviews for 6.0s to get that back to you guys. So I'll feature the channels on the truck. I think that's awesome. Revs per mile I had to change on my 05s. I don't know why I started yelling revs per mile. I have changed revs per mile on there with different tire sizes. It really doesn't do a whole lot. And honestly, if your tuner has the appropriate size tire, they'll work it into the tune and you don't need to worry about it. Whew. Let's see if somebody wants to buy something here. Custom tunes can be tweaked on the SCT. Yes, they can. I believe so. Where can I buy this? Is it a good tune for daily driving? That's an old one. Let's see here. Let's get rid of you. Let's bring up. So, guys, channel memberships, just to ask your guys' opinion. So what do you guys think? Do you like the idea of what I have going on? Is it something anybody would be interested in doing, or am I just like in left field altogether? When was the okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at something in the background, had to bring up. Max 464, that's sweet, dude. True story, SCT guys called en route to or from SEMA or during SEMA when I built a page on Facebook asking me to take it down because a firmware error kept my 2011 from starting for like 30 plus days. Yeah, I gotta tell you, so I run SCT tunes in my in both of my trucks. And I got to be honest with you, one, the X4 I think is a nicer tuner than the X3. The X3 is still what I tune my 6.0 with. But I also think I've heard of SCT having issues in the past of giving. I know there was a truck at a diesel shop that sat for a while he tried figuring out. SCT sent numerous files to try to fix it. Excuse me, and there were issues. I still tune with SCT. I have no issues with them, but they do make mistakes. And I got to tell you, if they asked me to take something down, I'd be like, nope. Granted, I don't think I've said anything like super harsh about them, but I definitely wouldn't take it down. It's still up to this day. Yeah, dude, I definitely wouldn't take it down either. I mean, here's the thing. You know, it took 30 days for you guys to fix this. That's on you. Fix it faster if you don't want it. Man, 38s are a big tire. I'd like to put big tires on the white truck. So I think what's going to happen with the white truck when it's back, we're going to gut the interior. We're going to do up the interior, fix my seat because it needs some love. And when I have the time and the ability, we're going to take it off the road again. We're going to do our 05 axle conversion. And I think we're going to go to at least a 4 or 5 inch lift. Maybe we'll go up to 6, but 6 with 35s looks kind of dumb. And I don't want to do tires and all that at the same time. It's a lot of money. But what you drink? Just some Coke. Crown. Nothing else. So, anyway, guys, this is the other thing. Just a reminder, I don't know how many have been here for the whole live stream or how many people are, it's over 2 hours now. So obviously some people have left and come back and everything. No, Ethan, I definitely like the stock look with the 35s. Like, I mean, my white truck doesn't sit super high. It's just a leveling kit. I think it looks awesome. No, there's something about the stock look. Sponsored by White Claw. That's funny. I mean, sure, if they want to send me product, I'll drink it. With Edge and tune with SCT, my Edge apparently cannot read the VIN with the SCT tunes. Garrett, so I know I personally monitor with Edge on both my vehicles and tune both vehicles with SCT, so it is possible. I'm not sure what your Edge is doing to give you a hard time. Yeah, Nick, so that is one thing. So when the white truck is back, I need to get my hands on a set of factory. So here's the dilemma. I probably need someone to help me with this, to be honest. So basically the goal is when the white truck's back, we're going to run it with the 35, 12 and a halves with 20-inch wheels. I then want to turn around after getting like two times in, maybe 3, but only count 2 of them for the white truck to kind of get a baseline for racing that day. And then take my 35s off, throw factory wheels on, and then re-race and see how it does. I think it'd be cool. I think we're probably talking, I hate to say because the 35s on there are pretty heavy. I think we're talking 2 to maybe, I want to say 0.2 of a second, maybe 0.3 of a second would be my guess. And hopefully next year we get to find out. Robert, happy Thanksgiving, brother. You be safe. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Really means a lot to me, man. But with small beef, the other thing I've thought about doing is I've actually kind of really gotten to like the look of a slightly lowered truck with smaller tires. Like DNA has a super awesome looking race truck. It is a certified race truck, a roll cage, everything. It's freaking awesome. And I gotta tell you, I love the look of it. It's a regular cab, long bed, and it's maybe low. It's got no 5 front end conversion. It's maybe lowered like an inch. It's not super low, but it looks freaking awesome. I'd love to do a build like that one day. I still want to see. Yep. Tire change definitely mess with shift points. Yes, it does. I got 37s on 6-inch, just a little trimming necessary. Yeah, I definitely think it'd be a cool comparison. It would be hard because technically to do it correct, like the change in tire size, I really should turn around and rotational mass is a big difference, ain't that? Yeah, seriously, it is. I wouldn't be shocked if it was more, but I just think in a quarter mile, it probably wouldn't be much more than 3/10 of a second. Because I'm not running a 40-inch tire. It's only a 35, 12 and a half, but the rims definitely a lot heavier. The tire's a lot heavier. But it should give a decent overall comparison. Technically, I should go. Technically, I should swap the tires, retune for the new things, drive 150 miles, and then come back and race. But we're not doing that. It will allow me to excel quicker. It also would be the equivalent of roughly switching my gears to about 410s since I run the factory gears. So factory gears and factory tires would be the same as my 35s and like 410s. It currently has 373s in it. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do expect it to be faster. But I don't expect it to take me from like a 13.5 to a 12.9. I mean, wouldn't that be sweet? But it's not gonna. I don't think it'll be that drastic. But I do want that truck in the 12s. I will say that the goal is to put the white truck in the 12s and have a full truck still. And I think I do feel pretty confident we can get that truck in the 12s, even with the 35s. Now, maybe I need to go to a lighter 35, a more narrow one. But ideally, there would be a set of, hey, if the channel's successful, I have a ton of plans. But we're not there yet. Right now, we're just trying to get the white truck back. But I feel like while like 6.7 content hasn't like super picked up, I do feel like you guys are at least at a point where you enjoy it a little bit. I try really, really hard to try to do a decent job for you guys. Just checking subscriber count, see where we're at. But definitely, you guys don't like it the way you like 6 liters. Yeah, no, I hear you because I've looked at changing gears because I want to stick with 35s. I just like the look of them. If anything, I know about drag racing. Stampede, what do you think going from 35, 12 and a half back to the 265, 75, 16 that came on the truck? What do you think that would do? Now, granted, if I do the 05 conversion, I'll have to stick to a 17-inch wheel, but roughly that comes out to a 31-inch tire for the 04. Oh, did I miss? I have the weight of rotational mass versus tire size, two different things. Tires is what mess with fine, right? Lighter rotational mass, spin up quicker. Yup, rotational mass. Every 100 pounds is a tenth at the quarter mile. Oh, so every 100 pounds. So I want to say I'm probably actually pretty close to 2/10 of a second then. Would be my guess from about a factory size tire and wheel setup to what's on the truck. It's probably about 100 to 200 pounds more. I just can't remember exactly which. So definitely, your truck weighs 5,000 pounds and you run a 13.5. So my truck weighs 8,000 pounds. It's like 7,900 with me in it. I need to go on a diet. Getting your fender liners yet? Gutting your fender liners. So I'm trying to think here for a second. What was the heck? Oh, so it's 7,900 pounds and it ran a 13.6 at its best time. So if I change nothing else, now I will say this, the current wheels and tires on it are heavier and they definitely have more rolling resistance because they're wider. So let's say it runs a 13.7 now, or 13.8 at best. I think we'll just be around 13.5-ish. Yeah, no, Stampede, my DNA, his race truck, he has like these race kits that basically the rotor looks like a motorcycle rotor. It's just thicker than that, but it's only like this big. It like bolts onto a spindle. It's got a, oh shoot, not Brembo. I can't think of the other big brake name. Willwood. It has a Willwood brake kit on it, but it's super, super small. Yeah, 7480. Well, maybe you weigh less than me, okay? No, I'm kidding. I'm not that fat. Um, isn't that weird? So Nick's same truck. I wonder why that. Well, I mean, there's the tires and wheels on it. That was with the 35 12.5 crew cab short bed. I don't think I had the hitch in the rear. Maybe I just need maybe I need a different scale. Maybe I need a more accurate scale. So lightweights. So those of you that don't know, Itamiya has a dually. Or he had two dually. Itamiya, you sold the 6-liter now, right? You just have the 6.7 dually, if I remember right. So I really want to do a dually build. King Ranch versus XLT. That's a hard option for me. I really like the Lariat option. If I wanted to go higher than a Lariat, I would go Platinum. I wouldn't go King Ranch personally. Jared, you cannot go down in tire size at your power level unless you plan on running more of a street aggressive tire. So controlled insanity, that is one thing. If I went to a smaller tire size in my 6-liter, I'd probably run a street tire. I probably wouldn't run an all-terrain. One, the street tire is cheaper. Two, it's going to serve my purpose a little better if I'm trying to go faster in the quarter mile. And I know, again, it wouldn't be that apples-to-apples comparison from the all-terrain tire that's on it to a street tire, but that would be what I would do. I would not run an all-terrain tire and try to race at the track because I just feel like it would be. I mean, it would be a cool video getting like a 4-wheel drive burnout though. Oh, I see what you're saying. It could make it a little heavier because of a few additional options that would be in a King Ranch over, like you might have the power rear window. You probably definitely have power pedals to go up and down. 6.0 Sis did stop in. You have no idea how ridiculous she's gotten since all this because now she's like, Jared, I help keep fans there. I'm like, no, you don't. She's like, Jared, I sold you a t-shirt. No, you didn't. But this is what I have to endure all the time from her. It's awful. It's awful. I don't deserve the kind of abuse she gives me. But she did stop in for a little bit. So no, though. I mean, I think a King Ranch could possibly weigh more. Yeah, if she wants to start selling merch, she needs to get on it because merch sales are not great. Just for the record, merch sales make up an incredibly small portion of what we make on the channel. and I don't make a ton of money on the channel either. Plus balancing beads versus wheel weights. Anybody running the beads? So 556. Don't run the beads. I ran the beads in my brand new tires for my 6.7, and I had a vibration issue before, and I thought the tires that Auto World USA, and I'm gonna say their name now. I didn't for a long time, but I'm gonna say it because I'm not lying. So basically, I just thought they would have at least balanced the half bald tire or the almost bald tires that were on the truck. And they didn't. So when I got new ones on, they put the balancing beads in. I told them that was cool, no worries. And I thought, well, crap, like I still have this vibration. I chased this down forever. And finally I went back and I was like, hey, can we take the beads out? Can we put traditional weights on? And boom, problem gone. So no beads, use traditional weights, use the stick on, or I actually like the stick on weights as opposed to traditional weights because they don't mess up your wheels in the end. And typically most wheel setups can run the stick on weights now. A lot of times you don't have to use the balancing weights. So just use the stick on guys and call it a day. You'll be happy in the end. And they don't look that bad, to be honest. So that is... Sorry, need to look that up. Beads will tear up your tires. Sticky weights are the best. Yep. That's where I'm at. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I do know some people that like them. I'm just not a fan. So you're getting a vibration. 556 is only while you're accelerating, because then it's probably the U-joints in your drive shaft. If when you get out of the throttle, if it stops, then it's definitely the U-joints in your drive shaft. Yep, U-joints, brother. I meant to do a video. I actually have I have some of the video, and I missed other parts of the video. I just never release it. But yeah, definitely do. It's your drive shaft most likely, and after that, now if you if you have a carrier bearing, I would honestly pull your drive shaft, take it to a drive shaft shop, have them replace the U-joints and the carrier bearing, and then have them rebalance it. I did that in my 6-liter, and just, oh my God, was it beautiful after it was done. I didn't, fortunately, my tires weren't beat up on the inside from the beads. And I was talking to somebody about that, and he was saying, he's like, it's really a tractor trailer thing. That's what they're meant for. And they work, he said they work well in tractor trailer platforms. But he said when people try to put them in the heavy duty trucks, he said it just doesn't work. And he was correct. So I know a lot of people, I think my dad has beads in his. I do think some tires work better than others with it, but generally I don't recommend it. I stay away from it. Ooh, the 3.0 F-150 diesel. Like super singles. I don't know a ton about tires at all. I will say that I just don't design for 14 ply plus tires. Yeah, so the F-150, I think it's a cool engine. Again, it's one of those things I'd love to have on the channel to mess with and try and drive for a bit, but I obviously am not made of money. But I will say it is something I would love to one day mess with just to see. I think they're cool. I love that Ford did it. I'd like to see them, if they put that 3.0 in the Ranger, that would be awesome. I would like to see them kind of up the performance level a little bit of that 3.0, but at the same time, I don't know that the technology's there to support it yet either. Money. Just to be clear, the best balance for a tire is pound on weight. Sticky weights is the second best for aesthetics. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that sticky weights are superior than the pound-on weights. I just don't like that they mess your tire up or your wheel up a lot of the time, so I'm not a diehard fan. But I will say, I would take them over the beads in a heartbeat. I haven't had stickies fall off yet, but I will say if a shop doesn't clean where they're going first, I bet that's a big issue. That being said, they could just come off. Something gets caught in there, takes them off. But it would be an easy enough fix at the same time, though it would be a pain in the butt. On the inside. Bringing the Excursion back would be an awesome answer. Now, I will say this: Ford actually, recently renewed copyright stuff on the Excursion brand. I think that was big news over the summer, if I remember right. Not sure what that means, what the future holds, but it would be cool to see them really bring it back. Yeah, definitely don't go. Definitely don't go with the sticky weights or not the beads. My guess is, I mean, if your wheels were brand new, some places have like a polish on there. Maybe it just needs cleaned up a little bit or some degreaser to get whatever it is on there off. But I know my fuel wheels have sticky weights on them. My current factory wheels have sticky weights on them, and when I put my platinum wheels on, once I sell the tires that are on the truck now, they will get sticky weights as well. Yeah, so I hope they bring the Excursion back. I think that'd be sweet. Like the Excursion beside will never outsell the Suburban. They would have a heck of a time outselling the Suburban. What studs do I have on my truck? Like, define studs. Like the 6.0, like what the head studs are studded with. They're just the, what do they call them? 425s, I think, is the standard ARP. Legos. Yeah, so I have ARP studs. Although did I miss a question and you guys are helping them, and I'm just crappy at doing live streams. I run ARP head studs, the 425s in my white truck. The black truck I hope never needs studs. It's a 6.7, so it's got 6 bolts per cylinder. So hopefully we're good there. But if it did need studs, I would probably go with I'd probably just go with standard ARPs because the 6.7 doesn't have head stud issues the way a 6-liter did. I will say, if you're planning on being at 550 horsepower in a 6-liter, get the age studs. It's worth it because once you're at 550, you're probably going to push it further. And I just think it's smart to just go with a higher stud at that point. Personally speaking, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It's never fun when I'm wrong, but it does happen. It definitely does happen. Guys, like I said, like I did say though, don't forget, check out Teespring for merch. We are going to be running specials and new releases coming out. Free shipping until like Monday or Tuesday. I have it in for. And there will be different codes coming up. So 6.0 bros for that. So use that, guys. Don't forget to share this video. Let's get this video out there. Well, maybe not this video. Live streams are really only fun if you're actually hanging out in the live stream. I feel like they're kind of boring if you're just like coming back to them later. But Sorry, checking some stuff here. And let me know what you guys want to see. I'm trying to keep up. 2 hours in, I'm loving it. Yeah, no, hey, I appreciate it, man. I definitely think live streams are cool because it gives you guys access to me like unedited. It's not a video response that I sat down and got to think about. Dude, Stampede, thanks, man. I really do try. I love doing the live streams. I think they're fun. They're fun for you guys. They're fun for me. It is very humbling that I always you want to see me working on your truck. Your truck would have to be closer for me to work on it. But I do enjoy working on vehicles. Might have seen 1 or 2 vids in the past 2 weeks researching my 6.0. Oh, awesome, man! I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Top 3 mods for 7.3. I'm gonna agree. Exhaust, intake, and tune, hands down for those things. Sell 7.3, buy 6.0. I mean, if you want better performance, buying a 6.0 is a good option. No, let me get you the name of the tuner. Oh, I'm glad you guys are you want to do my axle seals. I mean, I can help people do axle seals and teach it. It's not hard. I'm assuming you're talking I mean, it's not fun either. Um where are you located? Because I hate to see people struggle. I always do like to help. If I wanted better performance, I'd swap it to 12. Ouch. Let me look up the tuner because there is like the 7.3 tuning is very, very different from other tuning. It's kind of like it's not as simplistic as tuning a 12 valve, but it's just kind of a different way of tuning. And there is a very clear winner in the tuning department. So let me it used to be the 5-position switch. It is no longer the Hydra chips. So it used to be the TS 5-position switch. Now Hydra chips are kind of the new jam that everybody loves. I can't find the standard Hydra chip on Amazon right now. I can find, this is kind of cool though. Is this the cheapest one? I saw another one. They're all from PHP. There's that one. No, same price. Okay. This is actually kind of cool because it looks like you can just throw this in a gauge pod and be done. So this would definitely be your like premier option for tuning with the 7.3. Oh, Hydra. There we go. Now, there are 2 different Hydras. My understanding is they both do the same thing, just they're slightly different. Get out with that 12-valve nonsense. Yeah, Montana's a little far, brother. Now, small beef, on a serious note, I do have a video literally showing the whole process. So check that out. Now, I used my 6.7 to show it, but literally, other than on the, if you have an early 6-liter 04 or newer or older, excuse me, in your hub assembly, instead of having just a snap ring, you have like 3 spacers in there that need to come out in that order. But other than that, like and that's pretty simple to figure out. You still have the snap ring, but I mean, I have links to tools for all the different years. And it's virtually the exact same process. You might have some different size bolts to take off, but I have videos on the whole thing. So definitely check that out. Whistling Diesel wife just put one of those on her 7.3. Oh, that's cool. I don't really watch Whistling Diesel. So A 6.0 is safe if it's studded and using a hot tune. Fernando, I'm not sure if that's a question or not, but I will say if it's studded and studded properly, all the work is legit, then yes, it is okay. The price has gotten out of control for 7.3s. That kid is married. Hey, Izzy. Izzy, come on this side. Do you want to get on live? Do you want to get on live with everybody? I always show my dog. She always comes and hangs out. Right, Izzy? Look at the camera. Yeah, I know. I love you. Look at the camera. I know. Stop. Look at the camera. Hi. I know. Look. What's over there? What's over there? Yes, come here. This is there's a lot of you guys have seen Izzy a lot of times. I typically, she normally comes and says hi when I'm doing a live stream, but she is our purebred Akita, and she's great. She's a very stubborn dog, very much like me. Except I'm not a dog, I'm just very stubborn. Right, pup? She's not really a puppy anymore, but I always call her a pup. Every dog to me is really a puppy, to be honest. That kid is married. That's funny. Yeah, I don't watch Whistling Diesel. I mean, I know he does cool stuff. I just kind of struggle. Like, he buys stuff I can't even fathom purchasing in a vehicle, and then he destroys them. And I know he makes a lot of money on YouTube and such. And if I had to guess, he's probably successful in other aspects as well. But I just kind of struggle to watch that because, he owns stuff I think is really cool, and it's just hard for me to watch. Like, man, like there's people that can't even understand this even less than I can. And here you are destroying it. So I don't know. I kind of struggle. I feel like it's kind of a slap in the face to a lot of people. I know he doesn't mean it that way. It's just, like I said, it's hard for me to watch. Hey, man, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to read this comment out loud. I do read a fair amount of them out loud, but Jared, I got to say you do very well with your live streams, keeping up, hitting most, if not all, questions and giving factual responses that we can trust. Man, I got to tell you, that means a lot. That's really the goal. Like, and I think I've gotten pretty confident in my live streams. Like, I don't get nervous like I used to. I used to get like really nervous because it's like, man, like I better really know my crap here. But when you guys ask a question, I don't know. I don't have a problem saying I don't know. I try to give what I do know, but I sometimes don't. And what's really cool is I've developed this really awesome community of you guys that typically, if I don't have the answer, one of you guys does. So, like, shout out to all of you guys that come to these live streams. And we're very fortunate, in a lot of channels my size have a lot of crap going on, and a lot of people talking bad about people, a lot of people giving each other crap, and people attacking people in there. And I'm sure we've had a few people come in and be goofy, but we really do kind of nail them hard and get them out, or get them to at least conform to being respectful. And I love that part of it. I really do. Hey, man, thank you. I am trying to do them weekly. And seriously, if you have other friends that are into diesel, like, most of my videos are 6.0 content. Every now and then my dad's 7.3 comes on. Currently, right now, the bulk of my videos are 6.7 related, but I do informative videos on 6.0s. And when my 6.0 is back, we are going to do a ton of 6.0 content. It'll probably be 3 6.0 videos to every 6.7 video. So, seriously though, if you know people that are into this stuff, we answer all sorts of questions. We have diesel techs that are in here all the time. One of my subscribers is a Ford parts guy, so there's times he's been getting information and part numbers for people in the live stream. The live stream is a lot of fun if you get to kind of be here and enjoy it. And It is cool. It's also very humbling for me because a lot of you guys do super chats regularly, and I gotta tell you, it means a ton to me that you guys do that. That you guys believe so much in what I'm doing that you are willing to spend your hard-earned money on me and what I do. So thank you. Garrett, yes, the 6.0 informative street build series is coming. I just wanted to take a little bit of a break from there because the last one I put out didn't quite do great out of the gates, and I thought maybe I might be pushing it with that kind of content. But we are still going to do it. There's going to be one more, we're going to do the ultimate tow build video here next for that series, and then we'll start the street build, and that's going to be just every conceivable part possible for a tow build. It's going to be over the top. It's going to be very not practical, but we're going to do it anyway. And then we'll start the street build series. So yes, I am still going to do them. I just wanted to take a break. So hopefully people get excited about the next one that comes out is all. Now I know I'm missing some stuff, so I'm going to actually get back up here. I've seen so many basket cases of so-called bulletproof and aggressive tuning come into the shop. Yo, Tyler, I agree, man. That's why I'm very specific when people ask that question. Of if the work was done correctly, you're fine. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that just don't do work great. Yep. Stampede, you're spot on with the bulletproofing. 556, thank you again. Seriously, let people know about this and send them to the live streams. I am going to try to do them weekly. But for those of you guys that don't know, I am also in healthcare. I'm a nurse, and it's just a crazy time to be doing what I do. And school will be starting up again next semester. So I will do my best to continue weekly live streams. And I am committing to every other week live streams after the holidays. So we'll see how school goes. I'd like to keep weekly. If you guys seem to enjoy it, I want to keep doing it. But I might have to drop down to every other week so I can give you guys a regular video every other week as well. So we'll see. But my goal is weekly uploads. It's the rare built muscle cars of the diesel world. Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. Are you still playing? I answered that. Talked to your dad into his first diesel and picked up an 0560. I love 6 liters, man. Obviously, the name of the channel implies that, but my uncle does not like that. I like the 6.0 because he's a proud owner of the 6.7 family. Well, Cole, tell him to subscribe to the channel because we got 6.7 content here. But I got to tell you, there's just something about a good running 6.0 that I love. The 6.7's a fun truck, tuned and deleted. Sorry, just in my throat. Yeah. But it's not as much fun as a good running mild setup on a 6 liter, in my opinion. Actually, I've got a question for you. Do you know much about bulletproof diesel EGR coolers? I don't know a ton about them. Ultimate tow build, aka compounds. So Tyler, I don't know a ton about them. I know typically they're a good product. I don't hear much bad about them at all. But at the end of the day, I couldn't really tell you a whole lot. I hear they're reliable. A lot of people do like them, but I have no experience with them personally. It would probably be the brand. If I had to have mine back on the truck, it would be the brand I'd probably go to at this time. That being said, I think a lot of bulletproof stuff is really gimmicky, and I don't love a lot of their stuff, personally speaking. Nothing against them as a company or anything. I just think some of their stuff's gimmicky, like their billet water pump that if it fails is going to destroy your front cover, as opposed to the plastic one that most likely is going to last 200,000+ miles and not destroy your front cover when it fails. Ultimate tow build, aka compounds. So I will say I don't think I'm going to include compounds in that video. I might touch on it. One thing I'm dead set on doing is I want to put a 400 series frame turbo in front of the factory VGT on the 6.0. And I've only seen a few people do it. Yes, Izzy? Can you come on the other side? Can you come over here? She's not listening, guys. Come on over here. Over here, Goofy. Sorry, I do love this dog very much. Anyway, so I do want to do that, but it is something that... Stop licking the table. It's weird. You're being weird. Anyway, it is something I want to do, but it's kind of not practical. There's not a bunch of information on it out there at this time. 556. I'm sorry to hear that. I hate to hear that you're getting rid of it. Does he make the payment? If not, it don't matter. Tyler, I would recommend. I mean, like I said, it would be my go-to oil or EGR cooler I would use if I needed one. That would be what I would recommend, and I've sent a lot of people there for that. I think it's really their best product, in my opinion. They are expensive, but there's something to say about the very low failure rate of them. I will say that. He tells you about the cons of the 6.0 motor. Should I do a cons video of the 6.7 so you can send it to him? I'm gonna have to look into the 6.4 Max 4 swap. I didn't know that was a thing. No, the 6.7 has virtually no whistle. Now I will say this. This is definitely one of those spots my turbo sponsor is going to be like, really, Jared? But KC Turbo has those Whistler turbos, and man, are they scream like a 6.0. He has videos up on social media. I would check it out. They're cool. I will not personally be running one, but I do have to give it credit. They sound amazing. Well, so the 6.7 isn't wastegated in all years. 11 through 14 has a wastegate. 15 through 19 does not. And then in 20, I believe they went back to a wastegate, but they kept the GT37 style turbo. They just went smaller on it, which I think was a dumb idea. I think they're going to fry a lot of turbos. But we'll see. Does KC Turbo fit the 11? So any turbo can be retrofitted in there. You just need to retrofit it in. The high idle mod, I think, is a good mod. I also think, to an extent, it's a little over talked about. I think people. I mean, I haven't run it. Izzy can't have alcohol. Not that I would drink on air, but just sometimes I gotta let her know she's not allowed to have alcohol. But at the same time, I think it's good. Just I would wait to kick it on until your truck hit high idle anyway. Personally. Where am I here? Oh, I'm falling behind. So yeah, you can get retrofit kits to fit any, whether it's a stock 15 turbo, a KC, a Turbo Time USA turbo, any of them will fit with a retrofit kit. 0759 Cummins Mega Cab. I actually hate the way the Mega Cab looks. I wish they would just use a regular full-size door on them, and then I'd like them. That's what Ford does. I mean, the Mega Cab isn't like significantly larger than Ford's cab. It's just the normal quad cab is smaller than a crew cab Ford. EFI tunable. I want my truck to sound like an M1 Abram paddle tank nuke. The mega cabs are awful for blinds. I've never driven in a mega cab, so I have no idea. Um, I think BD Diesel has like a high idle mod switch for the 6.0. Let me see here what I can look up. I'm pretty certain they have a nice switch and stuff. High idle kit. Now, I am sure you can put this together cheaper, don't get me wrong. But filter results by your vehicle. Change vehicle, then yeah, we are going to filter results. Where's one of the 6 liters here? That's a cool feature. I didn't know they did that. So here's a link. This is probably what I would go just because it's a nice kit and I don't have to go find it, but it is a simplistic kit. It is kind of, it's probably kind of pricey for what it is, but it's got like a turnable knob here. This is personally what I would be looking at. That is an affiliate link, by the way. Putting on an upfitter switch would be a pretty clean install too. Oh, I didn't know that's what the original mod was, to run it off the e-brake as a ground. All 6.0 Powerstrokes have high idle availability because of the ambulance electronic system that is on board. No, I didn't know that. I may rack my 11 GT. If you do that, Stampede, take a picture. I will say there is something about the just plugging your truck in. Now I don't plug. I very seldomly have plugged my 6.0 in, but there has been times I've done it. What's nice about my 6.7, I hit remote start 10 minutes before I leave the house. I get into typically a warm truck. Since the recent muffler delete, if you know what I mean, it doesn't warm up quite as fast, which makes sense because of how they use the EGR cooler to like superheat the intake, the air intake. So it kind of helps. It speeds in a really fast warm up. Like a factory 6.7 literally warms up in about 7 minutes. And when I say warms up, I mean you have hot air, not warm air, hot air in about 5-7 minutes. It's pretty impressive. But I will say in 10 minutes, I have warm air, so it's not bad. Oh, my contacts. Tyler, that's valid. Muffler delete. Correct. Exactly. I got this truck off, said don't leave it plugged in just now before you leave. My garage gets about 32. So when you plug in the trucks, in about 3 hours is when you get as much as it's going to heat things up. At the 3 hour mark, you're not benefiting any further. I do think you'd get a lot of benefit in an hour, but remember they can't like crank the heat up crazy high, or you'd start messing with stuff. My 6 liter does not have remote start. I would probably like to do that when it's back, but I don't know if I will. They're a little more finicky at startup than the 6.7 is. What's a bold statement? I didn't do it. Guess who threw the... Just wondering what you think of the 03 6.0 with actual bulletproofing at 150-ish miles on the motor and trans mint shape 03 cabin frame brand new 20. Oh, that's cool. Somebody, I mean, if I had to guess, if someone put the work in to do a retro 11 and newer front end, then I would say they definitely loved that truck. Oh, it's a Mia. Yeah, no, getting a timer would be nice. I will say it's nice to go out, start your truck, and it be warm already. So yeah, putting a timer on would be a very viable option. We don't typically get crazy low temps. I will say if we lived at less than 10 degrees all the time, I would probably I'd probably make sure it was plugged in. I do like the feature to have it. Now, I will say we don't have a ton of places to plug in outside by our house, so that would be very hard to do. But a timer setup would work great. Ethan, you really could cut that down an hour, maybe even 2, but definitely an hour. After 3, and I've tested this, after 3 hours, I've never seen it go any higher than what it was already at. Oh, bolt is 3 hours. I will say how I've actually checked this is I've actually checked temps from with an outside temp of about 5 degrees and actually plugged it in and checked it hourly. And I can't remember what the temperatures were, but it from 3 hours to 4 hours, I want to say it went up like a degree or 2. So I guess technically I should say, depending on how cold you get, you could. But honestly, 3 hours in my experience, and I've done this a few times, is about the most you'll get out. And in my research of checking other people's experiences, that's pretty much what they've said as well. What is the downfall to bulletproofing? A downfall to bulletproofing a 6.0 is someone potentially doing shoddy work. All right, Tyler, -40 would. Where the heck do you live, Tyler? Siberia? Like, are you just up in the Arctic Circle? So downfall is cost. One downfall is cost. The other downfall is shoddy work. If there's shoddy work, then it's just hard. My dog looks kind of sad right now. Yes, pup. What are you doing? She's all up in my space. Look at this. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I love this dog, but man, the price is the downfall. A good bulletproof job that doesn't cut corners is going to be about $4,500. You throw my personal recommendation would be to sell your factory cylinder heads to somebody that wants them and get Kill Devil Diesel heads. You won't have any machining cost. You'll sell your heads, and Kill Devil Diesel typically about $2,300 for their factory iron heads. But right now they're doing 10% off, so you'd be talking like $2,100, maybe a little less. We're gonna poor Izzy. I love when my subscribers know my dog's name. Right, puppy? You're famous. You're a famous pup. They like you more than me, truthfully. Yeah, it stinks because like part-wise, it's not crazy expensive. Like, it's not cheap, but part-wise, you're probably like $2,000 typically, if I had to guess. Maybe a little more. And again, I haven't worked it out, but it's a super labor-intensive job. A cab gets pulled, then yeah, it's crazy. If you drop your truck off at BP, you will spend $13,000 to do bulletproof with no performance gains. Yeah. I don't know much about the scientific formulas. I'm a scientist, as scientist. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, typically when I make a statement like that, like I just don't want people to think I make crazy statements without like any proof. Like I have tested that to some degree. Now, negative 40 degrees, Tyler. I have not. It doesn't get that cold here. The coldest I think I've ever seen it like maybe a negative a couple degrees. And that's rare. That's not a common thing. We get maybe a week or two sub-zero max. Yeah, no, that's cold, man. That's just cold. We spent 17K to put a new engine in my dad's truck. Ugh. My dog is being ridiculous, guys. I'm sorry. Izzy, up here. Come on. Do you know if Ford sells the upfitter switches with the lower center dash trim? Chow, what I would do is I would look for that lower trim piece on like eBay or call up junkyards around you, because it's all the 05 and through 07s had it. I shouldn't say all. They all had the dash piece that accepted the upfitter switches. They didn't all necessarily have them. Dude putting 250, 100% injectors in a stock head bolt engine. Is that possible? Is it possible? Yes. Is it smart? Nope. He's going to blow head gaskets. Guarantee it. At least if he wasn't lying about what was done. Isn't she looking sad? Look at this pup. You're getting hair on the keyboard, is he? I'm a little behind. Best injector option. 9K at my shop. It's scientifically proven to fix issues. Best injector option. That really depends. Any end of year meets going on? Doom, not at this time. Not that I'm aware of. I will say in 2021, I think the channel is officially large enough that we can try and get my dog's farting on live YouTube. Look at her, guys. One more thing, and we're going to answer this question. Look how cute she is. Say hi, Izzy. She's very quiet tonight. She typically is very talkative. Anyway, I do think the channel is big enough that maybe next year we can actually plan a meet. I am hoping for some snow this winter. That would be fun. Issues before I cracked a head because one was down. I spent too much for all upgraded parts. I did crack a head too. That sucked. Yeah, so injector, best size injector. Really, I need to know your setup. Are you studded? One cell of my snow. Tyler, not what you probably deal with in Siberia, no. So I will say, if I plan to do a meet, one thing I'm going to definitively state is I will talk about it for a while. If I do it, there will be merch that I have to personally sell that I'd source from like a local shop to have done. And I would definitely probably need people to be like pretty dedicated to making it happen for me to do it. Because, and I mean, I definitely would be all into it. I just would need to know people are actually going to show up. I don't want to do one and just kind of pop up. Maybe I could get somebody like, I know Dirty Diesel is in Pennsylvania. I've never personally dealt with them. I've been to an event they used to host. I also know Dirty Diesels today is not necessarily does not have all the same people working there that it used to. Their events were okay. They got a really crappy dyno operator each time I was there. I ran my truck the second time, was not impressed with them at all, and they weren't super professional, to be honest. So I'm not like a super big fan, but I've never had work done through them either to know if they're good or not. Alaska trucking issues. So best injector, I really need to know more about the build, but I will say a 205/30 is probably my favorite overall injector from all my research. It'll also be the next injector in my white truck. A 175 stock's also a nice injector as well. You're studded with a Power Max 4-inch exhaust. Yeah, a 205/30 would be nice. You will need a fuel pump or a regulated return at minimum to run a full-on race tune, but a tow tune would be fine. Why I say a 205/30 is my go-to is it gives you plenty of growing room with almost any VGT turbo you're going to run. You'd be good to go. But it can also be detuned to run like a 155/30 for your tow tunes or daily driving stuff. So it kind of gives you this, like, it's a very versatile injector for most people. Do you need that with your turbo? No, but I would still go that route anyway. Doom, I think we've talked about this in the past. I still highly, highly, highly recommend going on a larger injector, especially with a stage 2. I think you'll be frustrated in the end if you don't do at least a 190. I just don't think there's enough to gain from going 175 stock to a 175/30. In my opinion, for what it's worth. You regularly turn on this will be the max frame. So Ethan, here's the thing though. If you go to a 205/30, you'll probably get a slightly cleaner burn. And again, you can make a 205/30 run exactly like a 155 or even a stock nozzle or a stock bodied with a 30% nozzle. You can make them run the same. Or you can bring that 205/30 down to run just like the stock with a 30% over nozzle. So I would definitely recommend that over a 175/30. Doom, it depends. I've heard of guys running 190s and 205s with just a fuel pump, and I've heard of guys running it with a healthy factory fuel pump and a regulated return. But honestly, you're probably going to run into that issue with a 175/30 anyway of needing to upgrade one or the other. Trying to just look back and make sure I'm not missing anything. We're going to have to end soon because we're planning a 4-hour live stream when we hit 10,000 subscribers. You guys want 4 hours, get me to 10,000 subscribers. You guys are going to get a 4-hour live stream. I can't give you guys a 4-hour live stream before I hit the darn goal for everything. We're at 9,571 subscribers, guys. So we need 429 more subscribers to hit our goal. So guys, we're going to end at 3 hours and 20 minutes. Change it to 5. I will say this. The day that we do our record live stream, I'm going to have extra content in case there's slow periods in the stream. I'm probably going to need to make sure you guys are going to have to bear with me because I'm going to need a bathroom break probably. And as long as sorry, I just read Controlled Insanity saying don't listen to Jared on this one. But yeah, no, if at the 4-hour mark, if we have a busy live chat, we're going to keep going probably to 5, but 5 would be the max. And that'll only happen if we have a bunch of people and we're still going strong in the live chat section. Now, I'm sorry, I'm falling back. Go hybrids, was that what I saw? Did I see? Is that what you're saying? I don't know that. I mean, you're going to lose some ICP with hybrids. You're typically going to have a little more smoke output, but also I think the smallest nozzle you can put on a hybrid is like 100% nozzle. I would need to look to double check, to be honest. 6.0 Cole, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Ethan, that would definitely be fun. And if you're, I don't know what I want to do when I get to that truck with that point with my 6.0. Like I plan to do a lot with 205 30s, and definitely get into 190s and Controlled and saying thank you, brother. Sponsored by White Claw. I gotta take a picture of this. That's too funny. Sponsored by White Claw. Controlled and say thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and thank you guys for coming in. We're not done quite yet, but we're coming down to the last 5 minutes here. Doom 190s in a stage 2. You'll definitely be around. If I had to guess, you'll probably be about 580-ish. You probably squeeze another 10, 12 horsepower if you went to 205 30s. But you're probably not going to even feel that difference. So 190 30s in a stage 2 turbo will put you in the very high 500s. Probably not quite 600, but very high 500s. 556, thank you and all the other people in this party commenting, helping answer all the questions. 6.0 Bros podcast. Hey man, thank you. I do plan to really make live streams a part. I want to say in the last 2 months we've done a lot of live streaming. It's been a lot of fun, and the live streaming has really grown. I've never used moderators until recently to kind of help keep an eye on the chat section. And again, fortunately, we're normally pretty good. Here and there, they're not boot people, but they take comments down that are inappropriate. But thank you, and I do plan to continue moving forward with this platform in 2021. Except the goal is to be more dedicated to them, not just as well. So as long as you guys respond to it, I'll keep doing it. Controlled Insanity, man, thank you. Seriously, you guys, the support is awesome. It's overwhelming, and I can't thank you guys enough for all you guys support me with. Buying merch, buying from affiliate links for stuff like buying from affiliate links for stuff you're going to buy anyway is huge for me. Using the turbo sponsored with Bless Performance and Turbo Time USA. Again, buying from Amazon merch or merch by Amazon and Teespring and stuff, and as we're recently rolling out the channel membership, it means so much to me, guys, and watching the videos, engaging, giving the super chats, giving I think they call it an applause on videos. It's kind of like a super chat too. So thank you guys, seriously. Controlled Insanity, I don't even know how much money you've sent the channel at this point. It means the world to me. I can't thank you guys enough, and I just want to make sure you guys know that how much it means to me. 190s are good for the street. I'm not drag racing an excursion. Why not? I would drag race an excursion. I think you guys all know that. 190s, Doom 190 30s are going to be a great street while not losing any ability to tow max weight at the same time. So it'd be an excellent overall injector choice. The stock injector is a 135cc, and then the nozzles just read in stock, and the percentages that the aftermarket, well, they're not aftermarket nozzles, they're factory nozzles that have been honed out to larger sizes. They're in a percentage over the factory size. So a 30% nozzle is 30% larger than the factory holes in the nozzle. And then the body of it is what actually holds fuel. The factory size is 135 cc's. And then aftermarket 155, 175, 190, 205s, and they go much larger than that. You can even get into custom sizes when you're talking like real crazy horsepower builds. All the truck in the brain. I assure you, RN pay will not stop me from doing this. Ideally, I would like to do this full time and work as a nurse, PRN. But I assure you, it doesn't pay that much that I would stop doing this. Failures on injectors is because everyone wants to push them to the limit. Nick, that's a good point. Anytime you're pushing something to the max, you're going to, it's going to be harder on it. So I like a little overhead built in. So like I know my 175 stock nozzle injectors on my race tune, I'm working them really hard because they have to work hard to dump so much fuel. First off, a stock nozzle won't max out a 175 injector, for the record. It empties most of it, but not all of it in the high RPM band. So, yeah, anytime that'll help. And a 4 or 5 straight pipe with that setup. I personally like the sound of a 4. You get more turbo whistle. 5-inch has more of like a rumble V8. I would recommend a 3.5-inch. I'd probably go 4-inch downpipe with 190s. That's a pretty big injector. But a 3.5-inch downpipe to a 4-inch exhaust is a sweet setup because you'll get real fast spool up of your turbo and still get some gains because the stock downpipe is about 3 inches. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We are going to close this down. Ford is the only best pickups with the best whistle. I hear that, man. Hey, guys, follow me on Instagram, 6.0 Bros. There is an H after the O. The link, if you go to the channel page, the link is in there. We also have a Facebook page. There's my Instagram tag. Don't forget to check out the affiliate links to buy stuff for your trucks. If you need one, hit me up. It does help the channel make content for you guys. Turbo sponsor, you know the coupon code 6.0 Bros, Bless Performance, same code. And so with Teespring, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone, enjoy this time with your family. I'm very thankful for all the support you guys provide me. It means the world to me. And 4-inch down, 5 all the way is the way to go. Hey, everybody, stay safe. God bless. Thank you again. We will be doing another live stream next week. 606. She did pop in, Doom, at the start of this. I just don't think you were in yet. Don't start saying her name too much. She'll start thinking you guys like her more than you like me. Hey, catch you guys on the next one. There should be a video coming this weekend. I'm going to try to get you guys 2 videos next week plus a live stream. So we'll see if I can fit it all in. Thank you again, guys. Have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys all soon. Bye.